Hello and welcome to Good Brews, Bad Views, the podcast that asks if good beer makes bad movies any better. I'm your host, Max Nestorowicz, and as always, joined by my co-host, Ryan Everart.
Hey, yo.
How are you, Ryan?
I am all right. How are you, Max?
I'm well, and by my other co-host, one James Thorpe II.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm here.
Okay, very good, very good, very good. So, for this week's movie, movie, we are watching the 1995? 96? 97 sounds way too old. Mid-90s James Bond movie.
Yeah, none of us have the
Goldeneye.
internet. We can't figure this out.
Starring
It's 83.
Pierce Brosnan and Sean Bean. If this is your first time watching the podcast, welcome. If this is not, welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. How this works is we are going to watch a movie, in this case, Goldeneye, and we'll be drinking some beer alongside of it. Making funny jokes and observations and just, having good discussions, hopefully.
Yeah, funny is a strong word, but
Yeah,
jokes
yeah.
will be made.
Jokes will be
regardless.
made. Okay.
All right.
This podcast is designed to be watched alongside the movie, but if you can't watch stuff alongside, that's perfectly all right. Goldeneye is available on Amazon Prime, so we have the movie queued up 9 seconds in, just after the second lion's roar. Anything you guys want to add before we get going on this?
No, let's hit the ground running.
All right.
Go, go, go.
So, if you're watching along with us, hit play.
Now. Okie dokie, we go now.
Ooh.
United Artists. Didn't Tom Cruise, revive this studio or something?
I wouldn't be
United
surprised if he
Artists?
did. I mean, what are you going to do when you have that much money?
Tim Cruise.
Tim Cruise.
Tim Cruise, yep.
I was going to say Ted Cruz, haha, no one's ever heard of that, but
Yeah.
no, wrong thing.
So here we have the famous, gun barrel scene with Pierce Brosnan, and already you can tell this is the '90s because the James Bond theme has taken a electronic kind of twist to it.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, one of the things I dislike the most about this movie is its music.
Yeah,
A lot
it is.
of the times it's
it is
really
It is
bad.
painfully '90s.
It's-
Painfully '90s.
Yeah.
So,
Not
You're-
great.
yeah, not in a good way.
Damn.
It's not great, Max.
No. But this is actually the first James Bond movie made post collapse of the USSR, which I think is which I think this movie goes to great lengths to portray.
I had forgotten that before we watched this movie, and it quickly reminds you that it is that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cool though. It's neat to remember. Watching this movie took me back to. I mean, even though I was 8 or 9, I was a military brat. So, at that point, this was a big deal.
Yeah.
For my family particularly, because it actually moved us out of Germany when the USSR collapsed. So my life changed fundamentally when
That happened.
That happened.
Yeah.
Smack right into a matte painting.
Yeah. I would not be surprised if this is an actual. It most likely is an actual dam. I mean,
Yeah.
Bond movies are known for their set, their set pieces,
Right.
and this is actually a pretty cool scene, I would say.
Yeah.
But the reason there was the last movie prior to this was one of the Timothy Dalton ones, whose title I cannot remember right now. But the series got caught up into some legal nonsense, so there was a good 5-6 years in between this one and the last one, which allowed the post USSR thing to kind of really take hold. So
My green laser burns shit.
yeah, he's lacking the proper PPE for
Yeah.
laser cutting.
Did
That guy
anyone
did
else
not
see
flush.
the captions? It just says splatters as the camera enters the bathroom.
Well, I mean, it's not wrong.
That's just a good caption.
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good shot though.
Yep.
I do appreciate that the guy's pants are down in that scene too. He's actually pooping.
Yeah.
Also, this is where
Wait. That's how you're supposed to do that?
yeah,
Oh,
this is
man.
where James Bond's interior mouth extends like a xenomorph.
Yep. It's funny that this is the introduction to our new Bond. This is when
Right.
you see him and is coming down from the bathroom.
Yeah.
Do you think that's how GOP senators get into the room?
No, they knock under the stall first.
Oh,
Yikes.
just rappelling down from the ceiling.
M, call America. I found where the beef is.
Yeah. This is a fun scene. I like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anytime.
I think Russia is the only country more obsessed with marches than the United States.
I think North Korea is up there.
Oh, yeah.
And China.
In the 90s, though? Yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
So here we see the introduction of one Sean Bean, 006, Alec Trevelyan. So,
Scene Bean. That's the correct way to say it.
Sean Bean.
It's
Scene
Scene no,
Scene Bean?
it's Scene Bond.
Scene Bond, yeah. He is very young looking in this film.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I think this might have been the first thing I ever saw him in.
Yeah, same.
But one Pierce Brosnan was actually cast. They wanted him to play Bond during the Dalton years, but he got caught up in his Remington Steele
Yeah, the TV show
contract.
Got
So
caught up in not James Bond.
he got caught up in not James Bond. So
Yeah.
he could have been. He possibly could have had 2 more movies under his belt had things gone.
Before he started making the really, really bad James Bond movies.
Yeah,
which is almost immediately after this.
Yeah.
yeah. So 006, another 00 agent from MI6, and they've always kind of been mentioned throughout the series, like, 009 will take over if you fail or whatnot.
Yeah.
But other than a couple other like intro scenes, they usually aren't around. Like they might you might see them in a passing, but they're not plot relevant. Spoilers.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen much of the James Bond library as far as the movies, but it seems like you almost never see the other agents ever.
Yeah, you usually
Unless
just hear
you're at, like,
them mentioned.
headquarters, yeah, but-
I think one of the Roger Moore ones, I believe, has like an assembly of like all of them, but they're kind of just like it's like a debriefing kind of thing. It's
There's-
not like in the field.
There is one where he goes in after an agent has been killed, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple ones where that happens. And then we see General Uramov.
Yep.
That man's head is huge.
Yeah, it is.
Or his head's very small.
Merp.
Speaking of pints and beers,
Yeah.
what are we drinking today, you guys?
I don't know how to say it. How do we pronounce this thing?
It's pronounced Yule Ol.
Yep. It is a Norwegian style holiday ale, I guess.
Yeah,
or winter ale.
winter warmer, I
Yeah.
think is the technical term for it.
So it is. I would describe it as very Christmas ale-y without Christmas spices. It's got that same kind of malty flavor that you're going for there, but it doesn't have like potpourri in it.
Right.
Nutmeg.
No.
Nutmeg.
Yeah.
Nutmeg,
This is
maybe,
actually
or cloves probably is what's missing from this beer. So this is by Dragonmead, one of our local favorites. And
love Dragonmead.
This is a cool shot, by the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Although it's a cool shot outside of Umanov, who looks like he's posing on like a Prince cover.
With a very small gun.
Yes.
So I guess those detonator devices have a button that just says "go to 3 minutes"
Yeah.
because it was at just some arbitrary number
It was
before
6
he
minutes
pressed
before, yeah. It's like, well, let's make this quicker.
it. Oh, you lost your stance,
Yep.
buddy. That's your power stance.
Yeah.
Get back in it.
So, I've had this beer multiple times, and the one thing that's different about this Christmas or winter warmer ale in comparison to other ones is it's a lot lighter as far as its ABV goes. It also doesn't sit as heavy as some of the other ones we've had, like 3 Scrooges or 4 Elves.
Yeah.
So,
This is clever.
Yeah.
yeah.
I appreciated this. This was very James Bond to me.
And I actually really, really like how drawn out this scene is.
Yep.
I really like that one of the wheels is squeaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also.
I like how I'm just like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, it just takes them
Ass.
out. The gun's tracking him and everything. It's great.
Yeah, this is a really
it's
fun scene.
It's a nice, slow scene. Which, James Bond movies are known for being, like, very, very slow. But when it feels appropriate, then it's really cool.
Yeah.
And apparently in Russia, barrels are spring-loaded.
Yes. These are Donkey Kong style barrels.
Yep. Yep.
Well played, Max.
Yep.
Well, yep.
Yeah.
So, in discussion with this, do you think the guys with the fuzzy hats are senior to the guys with just the normal covers?
Yeah, they
Oh
dropped.
yeah, they've been around a while, so they know that they're going to survive. So they need warmer headgear to make sure that they can last.
If you live long enough, you get a big hat. You get a good hat.
Yep,
Oh, boy.
that's a nice miniature there.
Yeah. He is running like a goober in this scene, by the way.
Not as goobery as Van Damme in fucking Cyborg.
Yes, that's
It's
true.
like he was trying to escape.
50% running.
Yeah.
It's like he was trying to escape his own elbows.
Yeah, but like the fists
Oh,
like,
yeah.
up past his ears really are something
Right.
else.
Yeah,
Oh no.
he needs to get a full body workout.
Whee! People are also spring loaded in
Yes.
Russia.
Yeah,
And I mean every explosion in this movie. Well, I guess in this universe, all explosives are just napalm. All of them.
100% gasoline.
Yeah. So is he gonna? Is he
I
just gonna
like,
drive?
yeah, it's like he's like, is he gonna do it? Nah, he's not gonna do it.
It's
Crazy-
actually a super
crazy
cool
stunts.
scene.
This is super cool. Yeah, it's a great scene.
James Bond movies were dropping planes from sky before it was cool.
Yeah.
Take that, Nolan.
So, in a brief discussion before the movie, we had talked about how this is the longest pre-credit sequence in all.
No, it's not. The World Is Not Enough is the longest.
Oh,
pre-credit.
okay. That was
That-
the one we were gonna.
Yeah, that one is 20 minutes long.
That was the one that we were going to watch, and then we
No, that
Yeah.
movie is fucking garbage
decided that
and
that
boring.
was too
It's
bad.
boring. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
boring.
So my comment doesn't matter now. Never
Yeah.
mind.
This is rated as
dear
one of the
listener.
best like pre-credit
Yes,
sequences.
I was gonna say this is a very strong pre-credit scene.
Truth.
The rest of the movie is not as strong as this, but
It's
I wouldn't
not.
say it doesn't deserve it.
No,
Yeah.
it's got an interesting plot. The threat is interesting.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can tell it's a very 90s kind of threat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And also, Mr. Broccoli. So this movie. I was thinking today and yesterday. Why is this a bad movie, you guys? Why are we doing this as a bad movie? And I'm thinking, for me at least, I very much like the plot, and actually, a lot of the characters are really good. But I just feel like the execution is really off a lot of the times, especially after the opening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's some pacing problems for me.
I think with a lot of the James Bond movies, they become incredibly dated very quickly.
Mm.
Yeah. I think pacing is probably the number one problem of this movie, and I also think that the nature of who James Bond is kind of leads him to be like overly cheesy a whole lot until the
third act.
No, I was gonna say until the reimagining of him as like English crap.
Bruiser?
English crap.
Yes, English crap. No, he's English crap in most of these movies. English born. I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, with the Daniel Craig
With Daniel
ones.
Craig.
Oh yeah,
Once
because
Daniel Craig
Brosnan's Irish.
yeah, it becomes a completely different deal.
Well-
Pre Daniel Craig Bond is a completely different take on James Bond, or
Right.
it is James Bond. Daniel Craig is the whole different take on who James Bond is.
Yeah. So that kind of goes a lot into discussion of the different actor portrayal of James Bond, and like everyone does it a little bit different. I would say that, I mean, you could say that maybe Brosnan's the most humorous, but maybe that goes to Roger Moore. I would say Roger Moore is the most like, I am a charming gentleman spy.
Yeah.
While Sean Connery is the most likely to sexually assault you.
Yeah.
From what I understand about the novels, because there's tons and tons of James Bond novels written by Ian Fleming, Daniel Craig is the most like the character. He's like he's like more of like a bruiser, kind of almost like a thug.
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of how I guess he was in those books, which
Okay.
which I've never read though. So
No, I haven't either. I would say I agree that there's kind of a different take on based off of who the actor is, but there is a clear continuity of style between Dalton, Brosnan, and Connery as to the overall way the movies are directed, right?
Okay,
You
yeah,
got Q, you got the cool car.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a slower paced movie. The slowest paced movie of the Daniel Craig movies,
Mm-hmm.
right? is Quantum of Solace, which
I had
is
not seen that
regularly
one.
recognized
But that one
as
is
the worst Daniel Craig movie.
But that
by
one is
far.
also a direct follow-up, like as
To-
in like it happens the next day after Casino Royale,
Right,
which is
yeah.
regarded as the best
one.
James Bond
Yeah.
movie.
Yep.
Oddly enough, directed by Martin Campbell, the same director of Goldeneye.
Okay. So one thing I didn't pick up at when we
Here's
first
the
watched
music.
this- yeah, some music.
It's Jerry Was a Race Car Driver by Primus, but
It-
not really.
Yeah, is that this is 9 years later?
From
Or 9
yeah,
was it months or years?
it's years because
Years.
because it was still USSR,
Yeah.
and this would be present day, and
So-
you see like there's Russia, and Ormov gets promoted to captain. From
My
colonel.
question to you on that is:
Okay.
has he been out of the field for 9 years?
No. I would say no, because he's still being evaluated, like here.
Yeah, but that's my thing. Is he being evaluated to be released back into the field?
I think it might just be a general thing that
periodic-
they do.
Periodic
Yeah.
thing?
You know?
Okay. I'm not sure how we're supposed to take that, honestly.
Yeah.
Well,
it is unclear, but
It's
I
like-
think
because,
it's
I mean, his
likely
ba-
that it's a periodic evaluation.
yeah. Well, it's generally been assumed that James Bond is not a code name. It is the name of a person.
A person, yeah.
So you could say that, like, that was something that happened during the Roger Moore years? The end of the Roger Moore years?
Yeah, I just ask it because, like, he just saw, presumably, his best friend get
Yeah.
executed in front of him. So does it, like, take a decade for him to get back on his feet?
Mm-hmm.
And he's just been going through women and booze without the spy deal for 9 years, and now he wants to, add the third pillar of his life back?
Well, I would say he never stops the women in booze. So
No,
but
that's
yeah,
what I'm
oh
saying.
yeah. No, I don't think so. I think it was just like a time lapse, and it helps also shows like this plot took a decade to make, as far as like what
What they're shooting
Trevelyan is doing,
for. Okay.
which I never realized up until like my preparation for this, of like this is a plan like 10 years in the making.
Yeah.
So.
And I will say that I greatly appreciate that they put a realistic timeline to this, as opposed to a lot of modern movies, I feel, that accelerate timelines way too fast when it comes to, like, building a criminal empire and
Right.
putting stuff together. It's like, oh, no, I've been defeated or been killed, best friend.
Yeah.
And then it's like 4 months
Four,
later.
yeah, I was just going to say 4 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a new new killer on the scene.
I wonder who it could be.
That's really cheesy and bad.
Yeah. So that's Samantha Bond playing
this-
Moneypenny. Bond's on again, off again flirtation in the office.
Right. And
But
also... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'll say with how they have Pierce Brosnan's hair styled in this, he looks older than he did in the opening.
Yeah, it was a little more
Yeah.
wily.
It's a
Yeah.
little
Full.
longer in the opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more styled. So apparently in that DB5, which I believe that's the Aston Martin DB5, I could be wrong on there. You could get the car with the beverage holder like that. That wasn't something like they made up for the movie.
Okay. Is this actually Moneypenny? I thought.
Yeah, that's Moneypenny.
I thought it was Moneypenny is. I thought the lady they show her later, who is Moneypenny, is different
Oh no, that is Moneypenny. I thought.
because they do the whole flirtation about like you'll never have me in that scene.
I could be wrong. I always assumed that was Moneypenny.
They look similar. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yep.
And then he goes and plays Baccarat, which is just war for rich people.
Yeah. It's a game no one but the bourgeoisie knows how to play.
Right, because it's literally a game where you're just the thrill of the game is the amount of money you're betting, not the
Yep.
actual game itself.
Yeah, different life.
Yeah.
Different life. So this marks the second movie we've done with Famke Jensen in it, right? Because Deep Rising.
Oh yeah, yep. She was in Deep
Yeah,
Rising,
she
which
was.
is actually after this.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, this was her coming out party, wasn't it?
I think so.
maybe. Yeah.
This is definitely the first movie that I saw her in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one of the main reasons we're doing this movie is this was probably the first Bond movie that we can remember seeing as young lads.
Right.
I think that's part of it.
So it's also, and I remember this everyone loved this movie, but
Yeah.
and so now like coming back to it almost 20 years, almost, if not more,
Yeah.
to this release. It's one of those things like, is that memory driven by nostalgia, or was it actually a good movie? So I think that's probably one of the reasons why we're doing this movie.
I
Ryan.
mean, it is, all told, still pretty entertaining most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In this, as Pierce Brosnan's first movie, you see him hit a lot of like the Bond notes. It's like, oh, he likes to play baccarat.
Yeah.
And, fast cars win women.
Hey, a
and,
dick joke.
Yeah.
but
Speaks French.
Yeah.
Wow.
when you're betting so much money, you have to get approval from the pit boss to
Yeah.
continue betting money. Also, where can I get one of those big paddles to move cards?
Yeah.
I also like the Spider Girl dress that the chick in the back is wearing with the blue.
Did not notice that.
Not in this
Let's
shot.
hopefully see it again. I like that ring. Those are some fancy cards because there's no numbers on
Right.
them.
Yeah.
We're too cool for numbers.
French are too cool.
Flash
Just a lot of close-ups.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's Russian for bitch.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
got you good, you fucker.
Yep.
Oh, we never got back to Spider Dress Lady.
Oh well.
Oh, there she is.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It is a nice dress. A lot of nice dresses in this
Mhm.
fancy French casino.
Yep.
But going back to the childhood and such. So do you guys remember Media Play, aka the best retail store known to man?
Yep.
So this movie came out just in theaters, just as Media Play was also opening. So I remember my dad and I going to Media Play and like being like, "Oh wow, look at this store! They've got all the movies, like the big box sets." Like if you're not familiar with Media Play, it was a store that sold like box sets of VHS tapes before Amazon was a thing, video games, computer stuff, Legos, books, just media. Media. It was great, and basically everything a young boy with money could want, or at least hope to get someday.
Right.
I have a lot of fun memories from there. Amongst them being, I bought my first Pokemon game there. I bought Diablo 2 there.
Nice.
A lot of like my favorite video games and stuff. Like I remember getting there. But anyways, first time going there with my dad, we're walking around and whatever, and they did an announcement like on the PA, like first 5 people to the media desk get a free James Bond poster.
Oh,
So I
okay.
ran right over there and I got like a big movie poster for Goldeneye, which my dad then framed for me for Christmas.
Oh,
That's
cool.
And I've had it hanging in my house.
That's
Like
awesome.
ever
Nice.
since. So it was in my bedroom until I moved out, and now it's in my basement.
Very cool.
Yeah. So R.I.P. Media Play.
Yeah.
We were
Was
killed by online shopping.
just a little bit of local history. Was Media Play at Lakeside at one point? Lakeside Mall?
There was one across the street where the Best Buy is now
Yeah.
Okay.
on Hall Road.
Anyway.
We just saw the whole flirtatious scene that
Yeah.
Bond usually has, and
And
now
he-
he goes into creepy stalker mode.
Right.
Yep.
And that,
Because she rejects him.
Yeah.
right.
So, which brings into a discussion I think we'll have throughout this movie of how, in comparison with other James Bond movies, this movie is very female positive.
Yeah, I would think so.
We'll get into this.
Yeah, relative to the others, I guess.
Oh yeah, yeah. So in to kind of give myself context for what happens in this movie versus other James Bond movies, I watched the Golden Trilogy, as I'm calling it, which is Goldeneye, The Man with the Golden Gun, which is a Roger
Christopher Lee,
Moore,
man.
Yep, Roger Moore versus Christopher Lee,
Yep.
an assassin with 3 nipples. Probably also one of the lowest stakes James Bond movies because it's just him versus an assassin.
Yeah.
And I also watched Goldfinger, one of the best
Yeah.
Sean Connery or any James Bond movies.
Yep.
So
I agree with that.
I also watched Live and Let Die for the theme song
Okay.
by Paul McCartney. Also because seeing Roger Moore go into Harlem in the 70s is quite amusing because he sticks out like a sore thumb.
The
Carfax machine.
Yeah. I would, thinking about the Bond movies that I've seen, I'd think that this one and probably Casino Royale is relatively female positive.
I haven't watched it in a long time, but yeah.
There are at least strong female characters in it.
Mm-hmm.
Although in this movie, okay, so being a young male watching this movie for the first time, whatever that was, I had some very confusing feelings watching these scenes.
It's a weird, she
kind
plays,
of horrifying.
Yeah, she plays the like terrifying woman very
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
Yeah, she gets off on killing people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also during.
Yeah.
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 She's just hamming up this scene.
Yeah. She's chewing his scenery.
Yeah.
So what this movie develops as her signature move is just crushing you to death with her thighs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stephanie would kill for quads like that. Hopefully not me.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's your inner like that's not part of your quad to do that though. I don't think, right? That's just
I don't know.
I mean, for listeners at home, I'm grabbing my leg meats in uncomfortable places.
Yeah. It's very uncomfortable for us, at least.
Yep.
I really wanted that guy to be a mime with his shirt.
Yep. Well, they are in France. At first, I wasn't sure where they were. If they were in like Monaco or something like that. But apparently, it's just France.
James on the boat.
Yeah,
boat,
just
boat.
hanging out on this boat.
Do you think that's Bodie McBoatface
No,
that he's on?
it's the great grandfather of Bodie McBoatface.
Ah,
That is like the worst ship prop.
Yeah, that is
Boy.
a bad battleship.
I think it's clearly supposed to be a like stealth ship.
Yeah.
From a modern perspective, that's what a lot of the U.S. littoral combat ships that are being made look like. They're actually very, very much in that manner. But from what I mean by that is there's not a lot of distinction on them. But
Yeah.
that just doesn't. It looks really bad from far away. I don't know if that's just the lighting because it's actually a ship, or if it's just one of those things that they tried to use a bad prop.
Yeah. Kill the Canadian admiral.
Yeah, that poor Canadian.
Yep.
don't touch my hat. He swatted her hat.
He did.
Look, did
Wait.
you just fall out of a Tim Burton movie? What is she wearing?
I really wanted this to be the guy from Law and Order.
It does kind of look like him.
Slightly rustled hair. Bond has been in a fight.
Yeah. James Bond, just like any other creeper, goes through your medicine cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
Got me some Quaaludes.
He died happy.
Yes.
Eh.
That was an awkward jump out of the boat right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Suppose mine now. Bond
Yeah.
boat.
Yep.
I found the dead guy.
Yes.
I have both the boat and the dead guy are mine.
Possession is 9/10 of the law. Do they make stealth helicopters?
We almost did, but they got expensive, so we did.
Mm.
The Apache longbow has some stealth technology to it, but the one that we were going to make that was fully stealth was called the Comanche.
Mm. Do you think in the future we'll ever stop naming helicopters after Native Americans?
Probably not.
Mm.
Odds are low.
Yeah.
Mm.
The Army has very specific naming conventions.
Mm.
So
Yeah. All right.
For some reason, I expected that to be a silenced pistol. Because I guess, like, in this kind of movie, like, seeing someone shoot a non-silenced pistol just feels weird.
also, there's like all those people just on the
That
other
too,
side
yeah.
of the boat.
Yeah, I don't think those are just normal boat sounds.
Yeah.
Nope. I mean, maybe the French do make loud boats. I don't know. I'm no Navy man. Sailor. Sailor is the word.
Seaman.
There it is.
This is not very stealthy, Mr. Bond.
No, yeah, he probably causes an international incident almost.
Yeah.
Were this helicopter not stolen?
Yeah.
Now, if this was any Battlefield game, it would tilt on its side and explode immediately.
Yeah.
And crash into something.
Or when you finally think you've got the hang of it, a Jeep would just inexplicably fall from the sky
Right.
on top of you.
Have you guys seen the Battlefield video where someone puts like some C4 under a tank, explodes, that hits the detonator, the tank flies up, and like an ally plane,
Yeah,
like,
it shoots
and it shoots the enemy plane coming toward it.
Yeah.
Right.
It is the most ridiculous video game thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that game has some incredible stunts.
Yeah.
Snow.
Russia.
Roshiachi. Actually, the first time I ever heard the term Cossack was from a video game. It was from Metal Gear.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I think Metal Gear 2, Sons of Liberty.
This
You
is-
didn't say
yeah.
the magic word.
He's frequent correspondence with Dennis Nedry.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I had a bit of young boy dyslexia for a while. I thought his name was Dennis Nerdy. Just switch the D and the R. It's like, So-
He is weird.
yeah. So, I mean, fairly good characters in this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he's a strong character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boris Grishenko is probably one of the most memorable things about this movie,
Right.
as far as the characters go.
I'm
More so than
invincible.
Trevelyan, more so than Oromov. It's Boris,
Yep.
and he gives the movie a lot of humor, which I think a good Bond movie needs. You know,
Yeah.
to break up like the spy, intrigue, violence. Like, give me some laughs. Now
This is
that
too
being
real
said,
right now,
you can
Goldeneye.
go too far on that
Yeah.
front.
Yeah.
But yes, James, too real.
This
Too real right now.
Yeah,
Goldeneye.
this movie is too real for these times.
The
Oh, what's this? Michael Flynn?
yeah. So the hard currency thing is very interesting, right? there.
Yeah, that's
Because Russia during this time period had a lot of trouble because their inflation went wild.
I assume,
during the conversion from
rubles to
just from communism to capitalism, or oligarchy is more of what it is.
yeah. Yeah, these weird little. So here we have Natalia Simonova. Natalia.
Yeah.
So, who I think is very, very rare, at least in the 90s, of a female computer expert.
Right.
Yeah,
So even with like Natalia being the female computer expert, which aside from Lexi from Jurassic Park, and you had Xenia smoking a cigar, both very like traditionally masculine features or actions, like being good with technology, smoking
Right.
cigars.
Yeah.
Like you don't see that often in Bond movies.
Also, did you see the Star Trek symbol in the lower left corner of his screen?
yep.
Yes, he's got a bunch of nerdy accoutrements around his desk.
I finally realized, watching this movie again, I finally realized what movie I used when I tortured my mom by yelling "I am invincible" for like a year as an 11-year-old.
I'm
So
invincible.
Yeah, there you go.
sorry, Mom.
No, you're not.
No, looking back, I am.
When I was very young, I should not have, but did see RoboCop.
Oh no.
But for a while there, I
Were you
used to
doing I
walk.
buy that for $1?
Right. Well, I would walk around making the RoboCop walking sounds, like at the store. So sorry, Mom. Yep, exactly.
And knowing your mom, I'm sure she was thrilled with you.
Oh yeah,
doing that.
it was great.
I like her flight jacket thing.
She looks good in a flight jacket.
Yeah,
He looks good in a hat.
and a toque.
Right.
Good hats.
Good, yeah, good hats in this movie. He upgraded from like comically sized like officer's cap to very comfy looking toque.
Well, it's because he's been around for 9 years, so he got a cool hat.
Yep.
Right. He earned it.
Yeah.
They also did a job making him look older too.
Yeah.
Head of Space Division.
Was that Samus on the wall? Russian Metroid? Banana.
That is a strong salute.
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
He practiced it in the mirror.
Yeah.
Oh, space weaponry.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, wish we could be living in those simpler times. This movie's got some pretty big sets for sequences where there's only a couple minutes of actual footage in it. Like
Yeah.
this set and the one at the end in particular, like the multi-level command center.
Yeah, the big the Cuban
Yeah,
set.
Yeah.
yeah, the Cuban set.
It's amazing how much like technology really hasn't changed what we try to make things that look cool, because that we use hand scanning things now, but they just are more digital hand scanning things.
Yep. I just realized that
Goldeneye
key is a giant floppy disk.
Oh. Also, the keys they have to turn at the same time are golden eyes.
Yes.
Yes.
You probably can get that key on sale now at the Sharper Image.
Yeah.
Or Sky Mall. But yeah,
I-
Famke Johnson has some good facial expressions in this movie.
And actually, the look
like
that
she's
Oramov...
like,
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah.
He's like, bitch, really?
He's all,
Jeez.
you scare me.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like, all right, I gotta go.
Well,
Yeah. I have to go place.
Yeah.
also, that's pretty like gory for that movie, for this movie, or
With the
a
blood
lot of
on
other
it.
James Bond movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not often you see like blood from the wounds.
Get blood in the cup.
Boom.
Really?
Enhance.
Laser technology.
Yeah. So it cut over and it's just Indiana Jones standing there with a little with the staff.
Staff on a stick. There, yes. Interesting how all this stuff's in English.
Yeah.
Convenient.
They ran out of Cyrillic
Yep.
translation.
They couldn't afford the alternate keyed keyboards with the Cyrillic instead of
Yeah.
Germanic.
So this
Model
is,
or CGI?
I don't
That's a good question.
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I was going to say this is that's perfectly indicative of a lot of the effects in this movie, which are aged but not horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're not. I'm not complimenting them in any way, shape,
Right,
or
right.
form.
No.
But they, because I tend to think that they're models because they don't have that really, really bad
Texture.
early CGI look to them.
Or lack thereof of texture.
Yeah, yeah, and the bad lighting and everything else.
I like this as a
Yeah,
red herring in a minute.
Mhm.
Here.
This isn't blood. Da, 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 da. And she's like, yes.
she just hates ceiling fans.
Yeah.
Yep. The eye keys.
That's a perfect James Bond thing.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
eye keys.
Yep. And the ventilates in them.
That guy's hat looks like the filter wrap from the inside of a shop vac.
I'm gonna say practical. The background is CG.
Yeah,
But the satellite itself,
Yeah. I agree.
considering movies like Apollo 13,
Mm-hmm.
heck, I think came out a year before or 2 years before this.
Yeah. It's just crazy to me that series was popular enough to, have survived beyond the 12th iteration. There's Moneypenny. Yeah, so it was a different chick.
yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I was wrong.
Moneypenny dressed
Yep,
to kill.
They look similar,
They
but
similar
she-
colored hair and
but they are different.
huh. All right.
So
I'm not sure if it was because I watched The World Is Not Enough, unfortunately, the other day, and I can't tell if it was the same actress as Moneypenny is in this movie. I'm not sure.
huh?
If I recall, it might. They kept a lot of the same M6, M16, M6, MI6, yeah, MI6, cast like the people who
Right.
like work there.
Yeah. Also, speaking of female forward, Judi Dench is
Oh my gosh, Dame
fucking
Judi
boss.
Yes.
This is her first.
This is her first
This
appearance.
is her
as
first
M.
appearance as M.
I
And
have,
she calls James Bond out on all this crap.
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
I,
even here with Moneypenny, like they always kind of have a flirt thing, but
Yeah.
it's not often that she has the
upper hand.
or the last line.
Yeah.
And then we have Tanner, the saddest MI6 agent.
right. But I mean, if I'm honest, there's literally no instance of Judi Dench not being great.
Oh no, she's awesome.
She's awesome.
She is awesome. I like how it's electro shielded or stealth shielded, but it has you can still make out the shape of it's a helicopter shaped thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's probably a helicopter.
I also like that it's built by Eurocopter.
Yep.
Like, really? Yes.
Yep. Obviously, the dude who's been there since the 70s working on that computer back there. Yep.
Damn, Dench.
You got told.
Yep. Tanner's just gonna go home and microwave a TV dinner and
It's just
Yeah.
cry.
Tanner looks just so disheveled.
yeah, he's He's not doing great.
He's
right
been
now.
working. He's been doing this shit for too long.
Yeah, I mean he's sweaty in a room full of computers that is probably really cold.
Yeah, his tie's really loose. His hair's all kind of messed up.
Yep.
Yeah, boy.
So one thing about this, about how young Brosnan is in this too,
Mm-hmm.
he is really skinny in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even for a Bond character, because I mean, a lot of the other ones, Connery was a built guy.
Yeah.
And obviously,
Roger Moore was playing the role till he was 57, so he wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't a spring chicken.
was
by
a
the
spring
end.
chicken, and then obviously Daniel Craig is a well built man too. So
Right.
when
Well, that again goes to the how do you portray your male physique of the hero?
Mhm.
Hugh Jackman,
no.
X-Men 1 versus
This is
Days of
bad.
Future Past.
yeah,
Right.
yep,
So, kind of hilariously, the actress's name who plays Moneypenny is Samantha Bond.
Yeah, Samantha Bond. Yeah.
Hmm. Let's see if she's in the other ones.
But it's like, oh yay, an
Yep.
alarm! Like,
It
oh
is the
no, an
same
alarm.
yeah.
Yep, she's in World Is Not Enough. Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yep.
I'll be
I don't
damned.
think she's in Die Another Day.
Hmm.
That's just a terrible movie. Terrible movie.
Is that the one with
That actually looks cool.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry? Yeah.
Yep. And apparently, everything is made of gasoline because
Yes.
things just start exploding.
And burn.
Concrete is exploding.
Right.
This is an anti-concrete gun,
Yep.
which would actually be a really devastating weapon, by the way.
Oh, for certain.
Just a molecular destabilizer or just like a bunker buster laser.
I mean, I don't need to know the technology behind
Right.
it.
Oh, okay.
I just need to know that it's a gun, and when you shoot it,
Concrete
goes away.
explodes.
Yeah.
No, Goldeneye is totally not a thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ringu.
Banners just walks away. The Charlie Brown theme is playing.
Yeah.
So this is weird.
Yep.
Just
Yeah, it just inexplicably explode. Like I thought that they were gonna crash together and explode, but like
Yeah, it kissed it.
yeah, bouncing off of each other and exploding is a weird thing. This is clearly a model.
Yeah.
it's only a model.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan. And then that was an anti-concrete airplane.
Yep.
Mhm. Ah!
Good cut coming up here.
Yep.
Here and yep.
The fire up there is a really cool
Yeah.
effect.
Oh Jesus!
Bum, bum, bum. Oh, I was for some reason I would have had that cut away, like as it's coming down, so you don't know if she survives.
Mm.
Ah.
I never liked you anyway.
Thank you, Ryan.
Well, this room looks a lot different than it did 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Now, Ryan,
Mm.
as a resident electrical engineer,
Yo,
an EMP can't cause this much destruction, correct?
it's not going to do this. No, absolutely not. It's not going to have weird, persistent lightning that latches onto airplanes. That's for damn sure.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm certain of this. But that doesn't mean I don't want it to.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
This is the second movie that we've had EMPs be like plot relevant. The other one being Small Soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's true.
Eh? What that is?
It's the ceiling rats again.
Those Siberian ceiling rats.
Yeah.
Mm. Matt, well, okay. This is the part in a video game where they teach you how to climb things.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Press
Her
A
hair
to,
goes from,
press
like-
A to climb.
Pretty okay to
Hot Mess Express.
hot mess in 1 second right there, which is pretty spectacular.
Mm.
I feel like that's what happens in like a Zelda game after you like press the switch. Like the ceiling collapses and the ladder just comes down.
Oh yeah.
Also, how did this lady survive the cold? That's what I want to know. I
Well,
mean, there's
they-
a lot
they
of
show it.
fire.
Keep
This is-
watching, Ryan.
So this is the one bit of actual music in the film,
Yeah.
Yeah,
which sounds fine.
Yeah.
not some weird honky jive nonsense.
Yeah.
This movie is more obsessed with sleigh bells than Ghost in the Shell. There's always just sleigh bells in the background.
I do like this right here. They're like, our satellite was knocked out, and so were 2 of the Americans. Because the hint there is that America just has so many satellites that we're like, whatever, we lost 2. Doesn't that mean all 3 are down?
Yep. Man, we got some good spy satellites in the 90s.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars. Nothing but Star Wars.
So I learned something interesting at, I don't remember if I shared this, but at a symposium for electromagnetic compatibility a couple of years ago, that scientists wanted to use nuclear weapons to manipulate the Van Allen belt so that they could globally wipe out communications and electronics, just anywhere, by like launching things up in the air and just exploding them, knowing that it creates EMPs such that you could force just some crazy focused electromagnetic energy somewhere on the globe. Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. It sounds like
That's pretty close to like a James Bond plot, too.
They also had no idea.
Yes, I know where you're going with this.
They had no idea what the result was going to be or how strong to make the bombs. So they were kind of just like, about this much. And they're like, we might actually set the atmosphere on fire, but we're going to do it anyway.
You're talking about the first nuclear bombs they tried to build, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. When they set off the original nuclear test, the Americans did.
The White Sands.
In the White Sands, they didn't know whether they were going to Oppenheimer didn't know whether they were going to make a nuclear bomb or light the atmosphere on fire.
Mm-hmm.
So, they flipped a coin and hoped it worked out well.
Yep.
Doggies.
But yeah, Ryan, like this, as you're saying about the music, like it felt really out of place there.
Tell me more, Judy.
That's a nice little comment
That's
there.
a good line, particularly because of other movies that deal with the Soviets, where that pops up all the time. Because it was real. That's exactly what they did. But.
Yep. There's a lot of like weird little history thrown into this movie that you don't get as a kid now, but you didn't get it as a kid, but you get it now. Like stuff about like, oh yeah, they're Iraqis, and like, oh yeah, he was a Lien's Kazakh, and then looking up about who those people were and whatever.
Yeah, like I said, this was a cool movie for me to see because of being a military brat. So I'm sure you appreciate that she keeps bourbon around, Ryan, as opposed to brandy.
No, it's Jack Daniels.
Better be a good one. This is the Nintendo game about Oramov I developed.
Yes.
Commodore 64.
What I actually hope right here is that she doesn't like Bond, so she gave him the Jack Daniels, but the really expensive bourbons in the decanters is what she's drinking.
It's great.
She's like, I'm going to give you the cheap knockoff stuff.
Well, the Bond movies get like painfully, obviously, corporate sponsored, like in the 90s and onwards.
There it is.
Like
Here it is.
the Omega watches.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tear into him, Em.
Misogynistic dinosaur. Damn, that's great.
Yeah.
Rip him apart.
But I think that's a lot of the criticism of like James Bond, is he is like a relic of the mid 20th century when the things that Connery does weren't seen as objectionable as they are now. Like in Goldeneye, Goldfinger, there's Pussy Galore, the pilot who helps him. In the book, she is a lesbian, and he gives her a case of the Dickin, and she becomes good.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
You bastard.
Yeah.
You can tell he still kind of feels for it.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's been out for the 10 years. Yeah. It's interesting to see, female M for the first time, put him in his place, but still be like, okay, come back alive. Rather than just be like kind of cold and just do your job, 007, like old M.
Yeah.
Defense Minister Mishkin looks like he's been drinking heavily for years.
Yeah.
Defense Minister Michigan looks like Chris Evans with liver disease.
Yep. Because I'm like, he looks like someone, but he's back to big hat.
Yep. He got demoted.
Yep.
Now that he's at the big table, he can't wear his cool hat.
Yep.
That's his meeting hat.
Just a fun last name to say,
Yeah.
Mishkin.
This room feels so very Russian.
Yeah. Vodka it comes out of the water faucets instead of water.
Look at how important I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, he slips in and out of his Russian accent throughout the movie. It's not great.
Several Naya years. Wow.
His resignation just comes out of nowhere. Everyone's like, wait, what?
Wait, why?
Yeah.
Grigorovich. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
is the assumption here that these Goldeneye satellites are like one-shots?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because to get a giant EMP, you have to detonate some sort of nuclear device. To get like of that level, you need to get a byproduct of an EMP, or byproduct of a nuke is an EMP.
Mm-hmm.
So to get like a directed EMP to like hit a city or someplace is probably like a one-shot thing, which is why he's like, oh no, there's only just one of them.
Can't you just like rub your two satellites together for a while until you get enough charge?
a giant piece of rug.
As the authority on this topic, yes.
You need the balloon.
The giant glass
you
rod
need the balloon
and a
satellite.
big piece of felt with like a machine just 30 years later.
Yeah.
Oh, Q branch. So there we have Desmond Llewellyn, Q from Dr. No up until was not enough.
Yeah. I do like the cast.
Yeah.
That's funny to me.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of funny shit that goes on in this scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is he doing there? Like, why is he caressing that with
An envelope?
with
I don't-
a letter that just appears out of nowhere from the last scene?
I think it's his papers or whatever, because you see him put them on the... Well, we'll get to it in a second.
Yeah, but he didn't have, like, you don't see him picking those up and walking out of M's office with them. Like, he just shows up in this scene with an envelope.
Yeah. License to kill, not to break the traffic laws.
So, if you commit manslaughter while driving and you're a 007 agent with the car, is that violating a traffic law? Is vehicular homicide a traffic law?
I don't think so. Is it? No, well, it's just a breaking the law.
I mean, can we, like, technically get 007 for killing somebody on this?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I was just laughing at him fucking with the computer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Piton.
So Desmond Llewellyn passed away at the age of like 92 in a car accident because he was still driving himself. He was like on the way to like a James Bond thingamajig, but rather sad.
That's a cool...
Mm-hmm.
I actually like that technology right there.
Yeah,
That's
the X-ray the plotter.
Yeah, my great grandmother stopped driving at 96 on the mountain roads of the Big Island. The road that exited out of her driveway was about I think it was like a 50-degree
Jesus.
grade.
Yeah.
That's severe.
Yeah, but the guy is
So the
still-
guy's still in the
I didn't notice that before,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a terrifying mannequin.
Yes. So with the mannequin that has a name, do you think the Mythbusters got the idea to name their mannequin from Q?
Maybe.
It's possible. Given the type of stuff that Adam Savage is usually into.
Yeah.
And then this right here, this just what? Why?
I think that just stuff always happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfectly normal sub.
Q. Q was always my favorite.
I will tell you, I was very excited as a kid when the new Q after him comes in. I can't think of
John Cleese?
John Cleese,
man.
yes. I couldn't think of John Cleese's name. Yes. And now we
Jodan Baker.
meet Wade,
Yep.
the cowboyish American in all James Bond movies when
Yeah.
Americans show up.
Well, throughout most of the early ones, there's a character named Felix Leiter, who was the CIA contact that Bond had. He's an American guy. He was very much like the traditional like American spy, or he was a guy in a suit. He felt like a spy or an FBI guy, just because he had a very professional demeanor.
He's a G-man.
He's a G-man.
Yep.
Here we have Jodan Baker of the CIA, and he's very brash and he's not very professional looking. But when I think about a lot of other movies I've seen with CIA agents in it, they're all like that.
Yeah.
They are never like they are not G-men.
No.
Yeah.
Freezing them butts off.
So.
Yeah.
Show me that. Every rose has its thorn.
All right. Max and Storowitch, everyone.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah, Poison's terrible. Hey, you may be mocking my singing, but we have yet to come up to the worst singing ever in this movie. Soon. Very soon.
Stiff ass Brit.
Yep. James Bond might be the actual person that is in charge of this movie, but he doesn't have a good hat.
No.
No.
The hierarchy of hats, he is very low.
Yep. I have an Ushanka. It is very comfy and very warm.
I don't know why, but him calling him Jimmy makes me laugh
it's
every time
yeah.
I've watched this movie.
Up the kazoo.
As a James, I don't like the name Jimmy, but hearing somebody else called Jimmy is funny.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had an armored train to travel around the country with. This is how cars should be fixed.
Right.
I enjoy that he's doing this in a suit.
Yeah.
With a sledgehammer.
And then he does that with the sledgehammer.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. I feel like a man hitting a car engine with a sledgehammer would be on like a socialist like for the workers poster of like the 30s. I love when there's like implied history in James Bond movies like this because they're all pretty much standalone movies, but every now and then you have a little bit of a callback of like someone related to someone or things from previous missions or stuff like that.
Yeah. So James Bond is the first contiguous universe, right?
Maybe
I would give it credit because
because
the actors are different.
Do you mean continuous universe as in
Like Marvel contiguous universe?
You could go with old Universal movies if you want to get super pedantic about it. Like the old Universal monster movies.
Yeah.
Because eventually some of them crossed over. You've had,
Yeah, that's a good point.
Tomb of Dracula and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, I would... It's up there. So...
All right. Just Russian Harry
that
Potter.
weird little Russian Harry Potter.
He has an excellent shirt on right now.
He does, yeah. I'm pretty sure you'd buy that at like a skateboarding.
Why does all of his artwork look like they came out of a Mad magazine? Burn. Everything.
So, thinking about it, James Bond doesn't do a lot in this movie.
No, he's along for the ride most of the time.
Yeah, it's mostly like Natalia doing stuff.
Yep.
Which none of the other 3 movies I watched in besides this, other than this one, have the female playing that prominent a role in the overall plot. Goldeneye maybe at the end with Pussy Galore, but she does the high heel face turn.
Yeah. See, this proves that there should just be a drive around Europe movie with Bucky, Cap, and Falcon.
Yep. Sam. Bucky, Cap, and Sam in the Blue Beetle.
Yes.
Punching Nazis.
Right.
I want a CG like Sam and Bucky
In the background of that.
In the background of that. These shots of the church are also very 90s. Like I can think of like other.
Like the Romeo and Juliet movie.
I was gonna go End of Days
with Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes.
Yeah.
Also, End of Days with Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
Yes.
I have seen neither of those movies.
You haven't seen End of Days?
No.
How?
I know that's right in my wheelhouse too.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Like you not seen Romeo and Juliet makes sense.
Yeah.
My wife loves that movie actually. The modern
The
Romeo,
Baz Luhrmann one.
the modern Romeo and Juliet movie.
Hmm.
If you haven't watched it recently, I would recommend going back and seeing it because it actually ages pretty darn well. It's a really,
Just like Leo.
yes,
Yeah.
that movie too bathes in the blood of virgins.
And here we have Hagrid from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yes,
Yep.
it is.
So
I like him calling out the gun.
yeah. Well, to be gay. Yeah.
You're an assassin, Jimmy.
I believe I've killed 2 of them. Yeah.
Shit. That curtain's packing.
This
Yeah.
is so ridiculous.
It's actually really funny though.
yeah.
Oh gosh.
Particularly because they are singing in Russian, so it just adds to like the absurdity of the scene.
Well, they're
actually
singing in English, just heavily accented.
Oh,
right.
are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually find that really kind of adorable, actually, in
the,
this
the
setting.
feedback on the speakers. Can we watch Blues Brothers after this? I want to hear a good rendition of that song. They're just poking fun at all of his mannerisms.
Yeah, the more on a second watching of this movie, this Goldeneye's a pretty interesting deconstruction of James Bond. M rips into the concept of the character.
Mm-hmm.
His enemies are actively making fun of the concept of the swagger of James Bond. I can't think of any of the earlier movies that really did anything like that. And
No, he's always in control of the scenes unless he's like been captured or something like
right,
that, you know?
And the transition to the modern style James Bonds definitely didn't do that. They didn't mock the old style. They were just like, this is what it is now.
Right.
So
if
it's
anything,
interesting
modern
to see
James
it.
Bond are a response to how the Brosnan ones ends because there's no real gadgets.
Yeah,
in
no,
them.
but
they're not jokey.
But they're not actively like making fun of those things. The only thing that I
True.
can think of is maybe there's a little bit of them goofing about the gadgets in Casino Royale.
Well, I mean,
Outside of
in
that,
the
I can't
same
think
way
of it.
that like Q's not in the Q's not in that until Skyfall.
Yeah.
Like there's like the highlight to me of a James Bond movie is always when he goes down to see Q and there's always the stuff happening in the background like we enjoy in our movies here at Good Brews Bad Views.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good thing he's got a steady hand for this.
He looks like he has a toupee on right there.
No, that was Sean Connery's bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Man, that's a nice cabinet back there.
Money laundering.
Yeah, so this Russian bro Hagrid here,
Valentin.
he actually shows up also in World Is Not Enough. Yeah,
He has a gun cane.
yeah, which is kind of cool. A very, very boring movie.
Yep. Has anyone seen a sub? It's big and it's black, and the driver is a friend of mine. This movie does a very good job of explaining what a Lian's Cossack is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I completely had forgotten about the Lian's Cossack part. Like I knew for some reason Trevelyan was Russian. But not much beyond that, and
Right.
you can find out some pretty interesting, horrific things about
Okay,
that.
so you guys remember all the silly like elf on a shelf meme variations that were hot like a month ago?
Yeah.
Oh,
like-
like Morty on a 40?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. We should dip into the Marvel universe and put Trevelyan on the Triskelion.
Ryan,
my-
have you seen Dark City?
Yes, it's
All
an
right,
excellent
so
movie.
the three of us have all seen Dark City. Is this
Yes.
the same pool in that one scene in Dark City
I'm gonna
when Kiefer Sutherland is in the pool with the stranger is walking around it?
be honest. I remember almost nothing because I watched it at like 2 in the fucking morning.
Hmm.
So I have no idea.
Or just it's the same design, but
Yeah.
different lighting.
It might be.
Did you guys ever watch the cartoon James Bond Jr.?
Yes.
James Bond Jr.
I had a couple of the action figures and his car.
I rented the NES game from Mega Video a few times.
People in Hawaii used to make fun of me and call me that.
James Bond Jr.
Yeah, which I got very upset at. And then looking back on it in my later years, I'm like, why? Because he was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of Q, it was IQ.
Yeah.
Dude, Pierce Brosnan is rocking some just
That's
great
a great
chest
face
hair.
right there.
Yeah. Good Bond face.
Yeah.
They have some nice back and forth here.
Yeah. I believe that was a
That was a trailer scene. Yeah.
There is another great shot that's a trailer scene later in the movie involving a tank.
Anything
Yes.
involving a tank is great.
Yes.
He was like, well, I
Tanks.
guess I don't need this gun after
Right.
all. And he's like, wait, nope, too kinky.
Yeah. She's
Not sure if I'm
she's
into this yet.
all over the place, man. Well,
Yeah.
not all over the place. She's got a very. She knows what she's going for.
Right.
I'll
Yep.
give her that.
Yep.
But she is.
He's got him in the position.
Yep.
Right. Once again, young me is so confused right now. Violence is bad. Sex is good. Violence is bad. Sex is good.
Yep. He just,
Like this idea though really intrigues me with someone with inner thighs strong enough to just strangle someone
somebody?
at
Yeah.
their rib cage.
yep. Think you can break me? That'll break you.
That's when Drago comes in.
Yeah.
I will break you.
Somewhere on the internet, there's /fic
Yeah.
with Ivan Drago. And
Oh,
is
that's
Xenia
awful.
Stop. Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
He just overhands her like a sack of potatoes onto a tile, like a
Right.
marble
Yeah.
floor.
Yeah, and now
Yeah.
she's got waffle ass now. You
Yeah.
see what she got burned on?
Like he just by the hair.
Ah!
Ah! Like that scene reminds me of the scene where this is a deep cut movie where the one roommate uses the top of the toilet to hit the other one
From-
2 LDK.
2 LDK. A Korean drama that is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Watch that movie. Recommended by a one truly great David Ashworth. Thank you, Dave.
Yes.
Judo chop.
Yeah. Vulcan judo chop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just- that movie has a scene that involves the top of a toilet and someone's head that actually made Ryan, myself, and our friend Dave go into the fetal
Yeah,
position
we were like,
on a couch.
ooh. There's so much to like about that movie. Please go watch it.
I like that they have a socialist statue depository.
Yes.
One day, I hope America has one for Civil War Civil War Confederate statues.
Yep.
That was a giant tire there for a second. I'm like, why is that there?
They have strongmen training out here. They just come over and flip it
Yeah.
around for a while.
CrossFit.
Yeah.
Russian CrossFit.
So this is a great reveal.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's in a great scene, great set too.
Yep.
Like this set is big.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of statues.
I mean, because you don't expect this at all.
No.
There's no indication about this at all.
Yeah, because in the James Bond movies, most of the openings have a little bit to do with the overall plot. So
Yeah.
we've already seen like, oh, it's the carryover general guy.
Right, exactly. And then Scene Bean walks up.
And then Scene Bean
Scene
walks
Bond.
Scene
up. Scene Bon walks up, and you're like, oh, he's got vaguely burnt skin.
And now he's like a Giannis because he's got two faces.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
they addressed
James Bond's
that.
like, ooh. This statue depository is something out of like Batman 66.
Yes, it is. There's not
At
enough
the
signs,
Gotham
though.
City statue depository.
Yeah, you need a sign.
Yeah. I've been watching all of those as I cook and such.
Oh, okay.
So it's been fun. They're very hit or miss.
Oh, I
Yeah.
bet.
Regimes. I really like Sean Bean.
Yeah. Exposition. Exposition.
He
The
is
lighting in this scene is
Great.
odd. Yeah, it's
It's great in that
It's
it
great at
highlights
this
the
shot
two
right
of
there.
them.
yeah,
but-
yeah. The wide shot was good.
yeah.
The light, yeah. It's I don't like when they get close like this. They
Yeah.
should do this whole scene from the
From
wide
the
shot.
I think that would have
yeah.
been a lot cooler. Yeah.
Yeah, but they want to be able to feel like the facial expression
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Well,
Yep.
and they also want to show that he's been
Yeah.
scarred.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good question. How did they miss that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and the listeners is like, well, shit, dog. They knew. They didn't miss it.
This movie must have had a very high dry ice budget because this was not like a one take thing.
So I don't remember, but had any other Bond movie talked about that he's an orphan?
It's pretty prominent in Skyfall, isn't it?
Yeah, but
before
that's
this.
but before
Yeah.
this is I guess is the I should clarify my question.
Not that I can recall.
I can't recall it either. So I would imagine
I'd
that it's
have
probably
to go back and watch the other ones, but I can't recall other ones ever talking about
yeah.
his family life.
I would assume that the books probably make that a pretty prominent
Maybe.
deal, but I don't think that's a big thing in that's a big reveal.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, by the way, you're an orphan like me.
Yeah.
like-
Going back to Batman 66, they never mention that Bruce Wayne's parents were killed, but he does mention like, oh, this belonged to my late father or whatever.
okay.
So
Yeah.
it's a nice line.
Yep.
Makes me think of the When Nature Calls blow dart scene.
Yeah. This is such a good
I don't
wide
remember seeing the
shot.
helicopter there before.
It was there. He
Okay.
walks past it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's Chekhov's helicopter.
I'm gonna set my alarm to do this. Just scream frantically.
Yep.
This is the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom part of the movie.
Yeah. A lot of timpani. Shut up with your jokes.
I like that he yells at himself. He's like, nope, no fucking jokes. This is dumb.
You just gotta headbutt it.
Yep. That's actually how you have to log into my computer at work.
Just head apply directly
It's
to the head.
It's got a forehead DNA tester.
Just,
Did you make a
Imagine-
head-on joke just a minute ago, Max?
yes.
Apply directly to the forehead.
Yes. The music in this is just bad.
Yeah, this is garbage for music, man.
At this point, John Barry's not doing the soundtrack anymore. Although the opening theme by Bono and The Edge and performed by one Tina Turner was quite nice.
Yeah. Which is it? Die Another Day. That's Jack White and Alicia Keys.
No, that's Quantum of Solace.
Okay.
Die Another Day is Madonna.
Okay.
You may be asking yourself, Max, how do you know so much about James Bond? Well, listener and people I'm sitting with, I listen to a podcast called James Bonding, where two guys they talk about the movies and they rank like what's their favorite henchman or what's their favorite Bond opening or the music or the theme songs. The obvious answer, at least personally, for best theme song is "View to a Kill" by Duran Duran. I think they ranked it
Why?
like number 3.
Why would she kick him?
She has no
Yeah.
idea who he is.
So he just saved her life. Like she doesn't have to like
Because someone she did trust, Boris, ended up being a traitor. So I assume that she's not trusting in a trusting mood right now.
Okay, but they were going to kill both of them. Like, they kind of have the enemy of my enemy is on the side. Like, she doesn't need to trust him.
Yeah.
But she just, like, up and kicks him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all for being standoffish and like, hey, you stay over there and I'll stay over here and we can talk to each other. But
maybe she's very much part of the Soviet death to spies thing. Smersh.
Maybe she's very much part of the kick everybody club.
Yeah.
Just a real quick interjection on things, based on Russian stuff. If you haven't played the video games, Metro, like Last Light and stuff like that.
Oh, it's a good game.
Holy hell, so good. Not only just graphically impressive, but narratively great. Gameplay's great.
It's an interesting concept of like bullets being currency, and like the good bullets are the better currency.
Mm-hmm.
So Bond gets a little handsy in this scene. He grabs her and puts her up against the wall.
Yeah. When they're on the beach later too, he's a little.
Well, at that point they've survived multiple attempts.
Yeah,
on their lives.
I know.
And they're like flirty with each other.
Yeah, it's consensual by that point.
I know, but even I don't know.
If anything, this Bond has shown that he's not afraid to manhandle a woman.
Well,
that was
I guess
against
because he
Anya.
beats the hell out of Anna.
Yeah,
top,
when he flips her onto the tile.
Yeah.
and waffle irons her butt.
Yes.
Why are we here? What's the meaning of life?
Yeah.
Computer programmer.
Nerd.
Yeah.
Slughead.
Yeah, that's such a weird. Is that a thing?
I don't know. I feel like they wanted to say shithead.
Yeah,
Maybe. Yeah.
It seems really
Because
bad.
it looks like it's been 80 yard. Michigan. Got a hat.
Good hat.
Good hat. Not everyone should wear that hat, but
So then you could take this guy and stand him on top of Russell Crowe. Jesus Christ! Why can't I think of the guy's
Kurt
name?
Russell.
Kurt Russell, and he'd be Michigan on a Pliskin.
I'm tired of these motherfucking Pliskins.
on a Pliskin.
On these motherfucking Pliskins.
And if Russian Harry Potter was in the woods, he'd be Boris in a forest. That's enough.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't understand why they're yelling at him about where's the Goldeneye. Like, they're satellites, man. He didn't hide it.
Oh, the key.
Okay, but he doesn't have that either.
He thinks he does.
Why?
I don't know how Russian defense minister's mind works.
Yeah.
Minds work. But again, like Natalia's like, shut up, you idiots. Here's what really happened.
Yeah, Bond's just along for the ride from this point.
Yeah. Literally, he goes and grabs a tank.
Yeah.
Soon.
So
Why is Natalia dressed like a 90-year-old telephone switch operator from the 20s?
Because it's
That's what I want to know.
It's the 90s in Russia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So approximately the same.
Yep.
Yep. He looks like he's drunk.
Yeah. It's weird there that the captions say, blah, 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 speaks Russian, but for most of the movie it just says foreign language.
I like how Michigan does suspect him.
Yep.
Or perhaps at Joanne Fabrics you could find Michigan on a pushpin. I don't know.
You went one joke too far.
No such thing.
So is this the...
Why is he not dead yet?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems like he could have just, shot Bond and then given his dead corpse the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead and corpse is a redundant statement.
Well,
you can't be a corpse unless you're dead, Ryan.
He likes the monologue, like all villains.
Yeah. So, is this one of Sean Bean's longest surviving roles in a movie where he does die?
I was going to comment on that earlier, yeah. Does he make
he
it?
lives it to the. He makes it to the end of Black Death.
No, I don't. Does he live through the movie?
He dies at the end.
He dies at
gets
the end of
drawn
this movie too.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Does he
movie
make-
where he lives?
does he
Silent
make
Hill
it-
2.
no, I don't need a movie where he lives. So I'm talking about movies where he actually dies. So this and Black Death are the two movies where he makes it all the way to the end before he dies.
Does he survive the first Lord of the Rings movie? I can't
No.
remember.
No, he gets
In
killed.
the book, he dies. First chapter of the second book.
So I just for length of time.
Oh, then yeah, Lord of the Rings, the first one.
Yep, that would do
Even
it.
longer if you extended edition.
Which are
He took
worth
a lot
it,
of
by the
arrows
way.
to the chest, man.
Yeah, arrowed.
So
I was a ring bearer like you, and then I took some arrows to the chest.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear the explanation on what that actually means?
Yeah, they proposed to someone.
Yeah, that
They stopped-
essentially you
they
got married. You didn't
Yeah.
actually get hit by an arrow.
Yeah.
There's some really angry nerd rage animations about people that are irritated with how repetitious that was.
Yep.
Apparently, they didn't get the memo.
Yeah. Did you notice how all of the uniforms say like Ruski on them now, as opposed to USSR?
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a very obvious like pan on Ormov's shoulder.
Yep.
Like this isn't the USSR anymore.
Nope. These poor boxes.
I know. Oh, the librarian. The poor archivist.
Okay,
Yeah.
I that kind of joke I think is funnier to me than his other like, hey, look, I mean a penis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is okay?
I like that they're conveniently under her to catch her right
Yep.
there. Those Russians are some good shots.
They have
man.
good. They have good timing.
Right.
Whee!
Yep.
Whee!
Bond out.
He did some good like air running there.
Yeah.
He did.
Good job, stuntman.
Stuntman.
Tanks.
James Stuntman.
Someone James Stutman.
Like, he'd never come out the window over here.
Yeah.
It's just-
Okay, guys. So the enemy just landed in a parking lot filled with tanks. It's fine. Just whatever.
See, look, the guys with the cool hats.
Hats are the ones in charge, most
Yes.
likely.
Good hats.
Oh, fun little Russian hat factoid. So my friend Cassidy, who we went to go see in Japan, spent some time in Finland and or Russia.
Trailer
which I
scene.
Hold on,
studied
good
abroad.
shot right there.
That's
Yep,
fuck.
great-
That's such a
great-
cool
yep.
shot.
It's a great shot.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that being in the trailer. And one of the slang words they have for women's nether regions is malenki politka, which it translates to small pilot, because the pilot hats, like if you look at them from above,
Oh.
look
yeah.
That's pretty great.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, people get really creative when talking about genitalia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah, power sliding a tank.
Yeah. James Bond might be the only person who can actually
power,
power slide.
power
a tank.
drift with a tank.
Yeah. You know, this would have been
The Fast
actually
and the Furious St. Petersburg drift.
Yeah.
if we had enough of it, this would have been also an appropriate episode for Tank Bender. I mean, not the
It
same
could've
kind of
been.
tank.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Yep.
that shit was delicious.
I still have a bottle of that.
Oh my god.
We should do a beer tasting soon with all of our friends and us.
Yes.
The GBBV affiliates.
Mm.
For
I like
the
how he's
podcast.
pulling. And yeah, we tried to do it during my housewarming party, but it didn't work out.
No.
That was a bad beer.
The destruction that he causes with this thing is
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh gosh,
It's
yeah.
phenomenal. And a lot of this area feels very much like, I can't remember the name, but like a map in Battlefield 4 or maybe 3. Feels like a Battlefield
Well, they're
map.
supposed to be in St. Petersburg, and I assume this actually is St. Petersburg.
It's a Battlefield 4 map, and
Mhm.
it's the one that you end up in the store at the very end in front of the plaza.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Use
I
the
know
bumper. That's what it's for.
where it is. Yeah,
That's a great line. Just more tank drifting.
yeah. I know that they have to have the shots of Bond in here, but he oftentimes just looks silly compared to what the tank is actually doing by like standing up so high in the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I assume there's so many bricks on it that he can't really see where he's going if he was down in the tank.
Well, it looks so cool. Like the tank flying around looks awesome, and then they cut to him, and he's like speed racering
Yeah.
the controls from below. Or while
Ah,
he's
yeah,
driving it.
just pull some levers,
Yeah.
twist some knobs.
Speed Racer, a potential candidate for the future. We'll see.
I heard that movie's absolutely gorgeous to look at.
It's absolutely stunning a lot of the times. That movie has more colors than exist in real life.
Like Redline.
Yeah, that was a sweet movie.
Yeah.
Bunch.
This is another
Movie
great
with
scene.
zero plot and just all races
Right.
in space.
Tanks, dog.
Yep.
Whee!
What?
Russian swear probably.
Probs.
I would assume so. Hey, look.
Traffic
People who
circle.
know how traffic circles work. Michigan.
Yeah.
We've been getting more of them.
Good. They're better.
Well,
that guy's dead.
you're very
It's-
dead.
No, it's not. Like they go to great ways to show that he is not actually dead.
I know.
Yeah,
but
that's not how that would work, though.
No.
Like,
Just the tank looming in the background.
Yeah.
Perrier, another huge sponsor of James Bond movies.
yeah, this is a
Obvious product placement.
here.
Meh.
How do you think they sold Perrier on that? All right, look. Your logo's going to get to be in the movie for like 8 seconds, and then we're going to
drive a tank through it.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so silly.
It's yeah. But no, I mean this. We've got the typical James Bond fanfare
Yeah.
going on,
Yeah.
but it's so good though.
Yeah.
It's appropriately used. Look at Oromov's like, what? Just, there's so many scenes I've seen that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use that as the image for this episode. One of them being that one a couple seconds ago of like the tank with the Pegasus on it. Another one of James and Jodan Baker in the Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your image should just be of a bunch of hats.
Yeah, just hats.
A collage of hats.
Yes.
We'll do a separate. I'll do a separate Instagram post for all the different hats of the movie.
Just started a whole Instagram account for the hats of Bond.
Hats of Bond.
Yeah.
All the movies.
And now they're about to get aboard the Sam Eagle Express.
You thought that too? Oh my god!
Yeah.
I had that ready and waiting. Yeah. All aboard the Sam Eagle Express. Jesus Christ!
That looks exactly like Sam Eagle.
It does.
Who
They'll
looks
never
like
hear. Yeah, they'll never hear me in this tank.
Yeah.
He's quiet as some stealth in a tank.
He turned it on King Kong mode.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just
Man, watch that movie the other day again. It's so fun.
It's really good.
One of the best
Skull Island?
adventure movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
in recent
I've only
memory.
seen scenes of it.
It's very good.
It's like
My,
a brutalist tank or train.
Tank train.
My father looks exactly like Sam the Eagle.
Your dad does
He
look
does look like Sam the Eagle.
Yeah, we've been making that observation for literally decades.
Yeah. And it comes down to partially his hair because it's also very white.
Yes.
Yes.
The prosthetics for his burn are very realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look really good here.
They've got that James Bond money.
That's
They can-
true.
I also think
Yeah.
it's partially because they're not. I mean, they're very obvious, but they're not extraordinarily severe,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not like normal face and then Freddy Krueger face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of James Bond villains have some kind of physical deformity, but it's not like an over-the-top physical deformity. I mean, you have Jaws in his jaws, Scaramanga in his third nipple, the slight facial burn here, which a young Sean Bean would have made a good Two-Face.
Yeah.
I'd have been
he
fine
would've.
with that.
He
yeah,
has
absolutely.
a kind of Aaron Eckhart look to him.
Yeah. Sam the
Even
Eagle.
has the same chin cleft. The quiet tank approaches.
That's good. That's a cool shot. Just
Yeah,
coming
it
out
is.
of the darkness.
The Perrier can is finally gone.
Yeah. I still debate the physics of this moment.
I have problems with this as well. All right.
Like tanks are very large things. Trains are really, 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 really large, heavy things.
True.
Right.
This is true.
Like
So-
like stupendously heavy things.
Yes. Well, it's only 3 cars, but still.
All right. Now that Scene Bond has done Harvey Weinsteining it up.
Oh,
Oof.
she's
so
hot.
excited about it.
She's hot about this
Yeah.
derailment. Oh, he's going to derail us, and then I'm going to derail him.
So in Russia, do just I guess hobos just run trains?
Yeah.
Any old hobo?
Apparently so.
I mean, it's transition era Russia, so you
suppose.
gotta take
Everyone's
whatever
a
job you
hobo.
can get.
You're either a hobo or a minister of something.
Yeah. So
Yes.
okay. So let's take a little bit of physics here. One, that would, again, everything is napalm, I guess, in this movie.
Yeah.
The train certainly would not have. It won't stop, and it doesn't. Does it? Does it just stop?
No,
I don't know.
It
But the
plows
tank
into
would not
tank.
do that.
No.
Everything's made of gasoline in this. Like, no silenced pistol is as silent as
So-
it is in this movie.
That would not shred the tank.
No, it wouldn't shred the tank. It would have the initial car would have been derailed and tumbled forward with the tank, and there would still be chaos happening right now.
Yeah.
Like that's like 20 seconds of just chaos after that collision.
It's a Soviet armored train. It can do whatever it needs
Right.
to do. We're going by command and conquer rules. The Soviets have very powerful, slow equipment.
I mean, the amount of weight that train would have to be an armored train as it was is amazing.
Right.
Why can't you just that? You first,
Yeah.
you second.
Yeah.
Good line.
Mhm.
Yeah. Collapsible stock AK.
Yeah. It's
Damn,
not like
the
she
Russians
just
in
looks
their most-
irritated.
Yeah,
in the
she
Like,
does.
God damn it.
Yeah. It's like, are we really doing this?
Them Russians probably made the most iconic assault rifle known to man.
Yes,
Right.
they did. It is quite.
The weapon.
It's quite versatile.
Ooh.
And then she does
That's
that.
a nice little
Yeah.
addition to it.
Oh boy.
This movie has a lot of villains in it.
There's a lot of bad guys.
And they're all pretty well balanced as far as like you understanding kind of how they're motivated and how they
And
act.
Yeah.
they all have their own personality.
Yeah.
I think that benefits by the fact that you don't have seen Bond's character show up till later.
Yeah, it's about over an hour in that he shows up.
Because the other two characters are so well developed at that point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that you just understand the history between these two guys already. That you can,
they have baggage.
They can go for it.
Mm-hmm. And you have just enough Boris Grishenko where he's not too annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they hit up a lot of just the good villain tropes. You have the femme fatale, the person from your past, the rogue general,
Yeah.
and the computer hacker.
Yep.
It's a good D&D party.
There. Ugh.
Aha, Venetian blinds.
Yeah. Armored blinds.
This is basically what happens to me when I go to IKEA.
Can't get out.
What are the blinds? How did this happen?
To laser your way through the floor to escape. Did you guys hear that story about the two girls who hid in a bureau in IKEA and then wandered the store after it closed?
No.
I believe it. I mean,
Yeah, they purposely got themselves locked in at night just so they could explore IKEA in the dark.
that
That's
sounds like an amazing adventure that I want to go on.
yeah.
There's an IKEA not too far from here.
Oh, there's not.
There supposedly is an IKEA opening up near where my parents live and where James lives.
They're exploring the opportunity right now. Is what they're going for.
It'd be a lot closer than going out to Canton. Well, for us two at least.
Yeah.
Maybe not for you, Ryan.
Yeah. I like this here. We've got 3 minutes.
Yeah. You could tell it was a quality it's a quality prosthetic that Sean Bond has as it how it moves when he was laughing and it
Yeah.
moves with his face and then
Yeah.
still looked like it was real. Send Spike.
So
What?
this is probably a somewhat slightly ridiculous thing to admit, but as a kid, I taught myself to spin a pen like Boris.
Oh, yeah, everyone tried to do that.
And I'm very good at it. And it's a habit that I have still today, that when I'm sitting at my desk, I'm either chewing
spin
on
it
my pen or I'm spinning my pen.
Yeah, I never figured it out. Like I said,
that is the most obvious
Right.
joke. You
Yeah.
sit down and you can't take it with you. It's a chair. It's not a butt.
Yeah. Buns. Yes, you
Arse.
sit on buns.
Where in the world is Boris Grishenko?
Yeah. So That trace is happening faster than modern computers could handle right now. By the way,
It's a spike. It's a super. It's movie computers.
yeah,
It's
on a
movie hacking.
14.4K modem. I don't
On
think
a train.
so. On a train in the middle of Russia.
Yeah.
The
Train
dive is
filled with
unnecessary
gasoline.
right there. That looks silly.
Yes.
Or gas. Yes.
Far.
Nothing brings people together like shared trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I like that because it sounds like a joke, but at the same time, knowing how spy agencies would work, like every vehicle they do use, they probably would destroy.
Yeah.
Like,
Leave no trace.
yeah.
Like again, you hear Natalia calls him out, like just as he was having the upper hand.
Yeah.
He's like, "Do you know how to stop the weapons?" Well, then I'm coming with you to Cuba.
You know, this
They go a while. We're a good hour and a half into the movie, and they're now just getting into the romance between these two.
Yeah.
yeah, but it's a little odd to just start getting moist after a train exploding and almost dying. I don't know.
Yeah.
She absorbed the soul of Xenia Onatop. Oh no, she's not dead yet.
Yeah, right.
Residual
Yeah,
Russian radiation.
So I'd like to know where they actually did film these scenes, because I very much doubt that it's Russia or it's Cuba.
Well, no, they're not in Cuba yet.
Oh, that's right.
They're in, I think it's Puerto Rico.
Yeah, they're prepping to go.
So probably Puerto Rico. I know in Die Another Day they filmed the North Korea stuff in Hawaii because they surf into North Korea.
Okay.
And then there's a segment in Cuba in that movie as well, and they shot it in Spain.
Okay. What? Okay, lady. Like, what else am I going to do with vehicles? Like, a stationary vehicle is not useful.
Well,
That's
it's more of like he's almost driving into a plane.
Well, I get that, but like, if I'm just hanging out in my car and something happens, like that's not my fault. Somebody else has hit me. Yes, Wade with a hat.
Yeah, new hat. This scene makes me want to play 2 video games at the same time: Far Cry 2 and Just Cause 3.
Yes.
See?
The brown paper bag makes me laugh. Like he just.
I am not here.
Yeah.
The phrase, like, if you catch my drift after he said what he said, that didn't make any sense.
Yeah. He doesn't
Because
need
he
to.
specifically says what he's meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Idiot.
I'm the expert on altitude around here.
It's just.
Yeah. Joe Don Baker. Yes.
Yeah.
We know. We try to kill Castro with cigars.
Yeah.
I've never been in here. Yeah. Natalia has some good lines about you get just from those little lines of dialogue, you know, like how competent of a computer programmer she is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the hat catch.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I enjoy the Wade character too, because you get that he is competent, but like
he's brash like the CIA is
messy.
portrayed.
Yeah.
But he gets down to business when he needs to.
Right.
Right.
And his reveal at the end of the movie
Exactly.
is
It's
so
great.
good.
Yep.
It might be my favorite thing about this whole movie.
Really?
Yeah. I had completely forgotten about it when we watched it for the first time, and I busted out laughing when it happened.
Well, stay tuned, listeners or viewers.
All one of you.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm pouting.
Yeah, so you're basically talking to future me.
I'm sad.
Yeah.
And she
Some
just
Morrissey's playing in the background.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of you.
I like it's like the world is gonna be destroyed. Bond's like, you know what? Let's go to the bungalow for a little while.
He has the frequent flyer discount or frequent save.
Yeah. So suddenly it turns into a cologne commercial.
Yeah.
when you're a former Russian programmer who's stuck in Severnaya and you just need to get away from it all, you want your man smelling like the ocean.
He is so pouty here.
Yeah. Pouty Bond. My
Dude.
friend died, but he's not dead. He's my
Yeah.
enemy now.
Yeah.
Like, My hair is all flowy.
So, if I remember correctly, Dr. No
Yes.
has the famous white bathing suit in it. Is that right?
The Honey Rider. Yep. Honey Rider emerging from the ocean with a seashell.
Right. Do you believe that her showing up in a white bathing suit is maybe a callback to this being Brosnan's first Bond movie and a girl in a white bikini shows up? Just
Maybe.
a subtle nod?
A subtle nod, yeah.
Like,
yeah, the bathing suit's a little bit more fancy. We can't see it right now. But angry kissing.
yeah. Yeah, he was...
Yeah,
Like-
like she was
He's going
walking
for
away,
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
and he kind of cavemanned her a bit there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But perhaps I know in Casino Royale they do the reverse. They have Bond like emerge from the
Emerge
ocean.
from the ocean?
That was unplanned.
Oh, really?
He hits a sand like he was swimming like I think he was supposed to like swim back up to shore. He hit a sandbar, so he immediately had to stand up because the water was too shallow, and it
Okay.
just created that same shot that we know from Dr. No.
And they liked it so much that they went for it.
Yeah, because he's like ripped as fuck.
Yeah.
So, as someone who lives or is from the
The ocean.
basically the tropics, I will tell you that at no time would you ever need to put a fire on if you weren't from that zone. Both of these people are from like cold weather, temperate locations.
Siberia.
Yeah,
And
particularly her.
England.
She would be sweating profusely right now because it's probably 85 degrees outside.
Yeah, 70% humidity.
Yeah. Well, it's islandy.
Even in
so
April, it's probably
it's islandy, so there's gonna be less humidity, but
yeah.
it's still warm.
Unless they're like camped out in a cave, which they're not.
Which
Because
they're
we saw
not.
the bungalow.
They're on a bungalow. That's a cool shot right there
Yep.
too.
Bum, ba, bum, ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Rear projection.
Yeah. This is bad.
Yep.
This might be the worst effect in the movie.
I'll
Maybe the
later.
maybe
I'll
the
tell
thing
you
at
what
the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
the worst one is.
but this is real bad.
Yeah, this is noticeably bad. This is as bad as in Sudden Death when Jean Blonde Van damn it, I lost
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yep.
We
I
had a
was
lot of
going
names for him. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Jean Blonde Van Boring or whatever his name
Yeah.
was. When he's hanging over the ice and it's obviously
right.
the
Yeah.
stream.
Oh yeah, that was real bad.
So this is a subtle thing that bothers me, and it's stupid. But as a CIA plane, it should not have a tail number.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like the U.S. government owns some planes that do very specific things.
Bush pilots.
One of which is actually flies people into Los Alamos.
Again, it's just filled
Like
with
the Skunk
napalm.
Works. Yeah, it's just filled with napalm.
Yeah.
The Skunk Works. And
Skunk Works.
all those planes don't have tail numbers on them.
Huh.
Which is like the irony of making something so that you can't tell what it is that it sticks out more because it's obvious that it doesn't have a tail number.
Mm-hmm. Bless you.
Thank you.
I think maybe Jean Van Bland may have
Yes,
been one
that's
of them.
what I was going for.
That was it.
Thank you,
You're
Ryan.
welcome. Actually, I don't think the Jean was in there before. I don't know. I'm going to take credit for it either way.
Yeah.
Get me out of this
No,
fucking plane,
we've
dog.
had me called John Yan, or I don't know. There's many different iterations of his name.
Yeah.
Now this looks like an actual set. This doesn't look like an actual.
Yeah, I was gonna say for all the money they spend on going to locations in James Bond films,
Which
it's odd to me that
Bond films are known for doing that.
Right,
It's a lot
it's
of
odd
like,
to me that they
look
would-
at the world. This looks like
this
a
looks like a set.
soundstage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems a weird choice to make this a soundstage.
Nice
They
fade
found
here.
A really fake looking part of jungle.
Yeah.
This is a weird sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's clear. It's gotta be a
Helicopter
soundstage.
God is coming for me.
Yeah.
I'm saved.
Yeah.
I'd know those quads anyway. I know those thighs anyway.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
That would hurt.
A lot.
Yeah. This looks like a TV jungle set. Like if you're watching like Tarzan or Hercules or something, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. It's very licky.
Yes.
Oh God, she's orgasming again.
Yeah.
Like how she has guns, just like, no, I must break you with my thighs.
Yeah.
What's interesting?
God.
Yeah. About this scene is Xenia drops down and she's a complete badass.
Yeah.
And then the fight's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just. And this is a really gruesome
This
way to
is
go.
This
'cause-
is
Pretty-
awful, but appropriate.
yes.
Yep.
She gets the biggest squeeze of everybody,
Hmm.
Yep. Killed by a harness.
and that just explodes for no reason.
Mhm.
Like there's literally no reason for that to actually explode. That
Are
doesn't-
Russian pilots made of gasoline? Is
Yeah.
that why they're always
I mean, I don't
exploding?
know. Maybe.
Or they've drank so much vodka it's replaced their blood?
BAC of 1.1.
This is a complex looking facility for
Mhm.
Cuba.
Yeah. It's been made over a decade, I guess.
Yeah.
Or the Soviets had secret bases in Cuba, which probably did.
This is satellite in range and to steal from Archer. Who are you, comrade? Question?
Yeah.
Or my my board gaming alter ego.
Comrade roll off.
Comrade Roloff, yes. This seems like this wouldn't work at all. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
That
no.
would require such intense strength. I don't know.
That's a lot of water to move.
We don't have any mechanical engineers on this show yet,
Yeah.
but that's a lot of water to move.
that's actually more chemical engineering because it's just the moving. It's just fluid dynamics. You need just pumps to be able to move that much water. So they must have like a pump the size of the dish under the dish.
Yeah. Just a hole that opens.
Yeah, just and then pump it back out. I assume it's a lot quicker to empty than it is to fill.
That is such like super
The most
specific
expensive
meme.
floppy disk.
Yeah. That's a bad line. It's a bad
Yeah.
line, Scene Bean.
Yeah.
Yep.
The name's Bond. Scene Bond.
I can't tell if this water is CG.
It's a miniature.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's a model.
It's only
Like look at the droplets.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how you tell.
Yeah.
And I learned that from watching old Godzilla movies.
Oh.
yes.
Like, well, that's how you know it's a miniature.
I watched Gojira for the first time on Thanksgiving.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
The
okay.
original.
I'd never seen the original.
It's been a long time, and this is weirdly in reverse. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
Yeah.
It's shot in reverse.
yeah.
Something I noticed about that is how much. Yeah. Something I noticed about watching that original one is how different the Godzilla like Skreonk sounds in comparison to
Yeah.
now.
It's
It
a
was
lot
much
different.
like deeper and like ominous sounding. A lot more bass to it.
I mean, the idea of turning a lake into a satellite dish is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's more that the satellite dish is in the lake, right?
Yeah, it's a man-made lake.
Yeah.
Either way, it's cool.
Has the Boris approval.
I mean, I guess that would make the physics of it make more sense, right? That the reservoir itself is built to be the satellite dish, and they just raise the piece they just raise that up for it to become the satellite dish and remove
Yes.
the water.
Yes. Those guys have some great aim.
Yeah. Well, they're
They're shooting through a grate across the satellite dish.
Well, say goodbye to 20% of your flesh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
They
they
got-
don't even have the burlap sacks like
Yeah,
at the cheap,
man.
at the cheap
The slides.
slides.
Oh
Yep.
gosh, yeah.
And second thought, just let
Let's
you
just
go.
bone.
Yep. I've never boned in a satellite dish before.
Is that code for something?
Yeah, I was gonna say Bond's antenna's in position too.
Wait, are we going on one, or are we going
Yeah.
after one, or?
Oh, look, Indiana Jones is in the room real quick again.
Yep.
I do like that
Would you
US is
like
blue
to
and
play
Russia
a
is
game?
red for no apparent, or like just because it's like
Yeah.
Russia. Even the Russians are like, we are the bad guys.
Yep.
We have no delusions about this.
Yeah.
Everyone knows red's a better color than blue.
Hmm.
I like how all the signs are in Spanish
Yes.
and English.
There's the woman in the blue shirt and the white skirt that just
Mhm.
shows up in the background a whole bunch of times that looks completely out of place with everybody else.
Hmm.
One of the producers, Michael G. Wilson, he produced many of the James Bond movies. He often inserts himself into the movies, like as a background, like extra or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know what he looks like well enough to be able to pick him out or have found where he is, but he's in, like, I guess all the ones that he was in, or all the ones he produced.
Hmm.
That also felt like a trailer moment of him, like, arming the mine as the bullets
Right.
were going off around him.
Yeah.
Just being like, look how cool and suave I am. Haha, I don't have a gun. You can't shoot me.
Yeah.
Totally, guys.
This is how it works, right?
Yep.
Now to the urinal cam.
Yeah. Deliverance cam.
Oh, boy.
They've changed their hats because they're in a different climate.
Hmm.
Yes.
Berets for days.
Praise for days.
It's filled with grape Kool-Aid?
So...
No
for
one
the
notices
Yeah,
this, by
for
the
the
way.
next, 7 minutes, not a single person notices the
Like, wow,
pink
what's that
waterfall.
dripping?
That's because they didn't have the Ghostbusters around. They would notice
Okay.
the pink waterfall.
Damn straight. Happy thoughts, man. You didn't sleep with the toaster, did you, Ray?
Oh,
Or Egon?
Ray.
Who was it? Who had the... I don't remember.
No, it was Ray.
It was Ray.
Come on now, let's go, movie.
He looks so silly in a vest.
Yeah. he
James
does.
Bond?
Yes.
Bond. Vested Bond.
It's like they showed up and they're like, you know what, Pierce, I'm sorry, you can't be on Jurassic Park. He's
Right.
like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna wear this vest. I swear to God, Steven.
Wishing he was Dr. Alan Grant the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show you, Steven.
Yep, the Omega Watch.
Yeah.
Another time classic endorsement.
Yeah.
Beep boop beep boop. No minds for you.
Oh. And I do like that the history still keeps coming into play over and over and over again. Like he knows
Just-
all of his tricks.
Just everybody walking by the drips.
Yep.
Now, could this work? I don't think it could. What he's doing?
What, stealing money?
Yeah,
Yeah, it would work.
I suppose.
For sure. You could hack into the system and direct the system to transfer money to accounts and then basically use the EMP to destroy all
The
record
record
of
of where
it
the money came from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I appreciate that she keeps typing.
Yeah, she,
Ah,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
you hit the enter button.
Just like the guys in Ant-Man.
Hmm.
Hit the enter button as the fuzz is pulling you away.
Yep. This is so. Episode 1 of Good Brews, Bad Views, we talked about embezzlement, the whitest of crimes.
Yes.
And this is like the greatest embezzlement ever. It supersedes it's the sudden death embezzlement.
Yep.
Spare me the Freud. I'll ask you if all the vodka martini silence the screams of all the men you've killed. Wow.
Brutal.
I missed that.
Yeah, you cut deep, Alec. And there, again, another cut deep. He's going right to the bone, man.
They don't go that deep into like the actions of James Bond until Skyfall, when he has like the psych evaluation after being shot.
Yeah.
And he's like, M, bitch. Skyfall.
Yes.
And then,
Take that, you fucking asshole.
I do wish he would have just decked him instead of slapped him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him being super wimpy is perfect, though.
well, it's what you
yeah.
expect from the character.
Yeah.
Now look, it's a,
Meh.
now it becomes just like a standard member of the alt-right.
Yeah, right. When
And
did he
she-
get the pen?
She gives it to him.
Is that what? Okay.
That was
And
her-
no, I think he picked it up off of the Bond stuff was on the counter. I think he just picked it up, or it got knocked off, or I don't know.
I always read it as she had it, and when she hits him, she puts the pen by him to try to give him the pen.
She doesn't know it's a bomb though.
She could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly am not sure which way to go with that.
Because I also wonder, like, when exactly did he get the pen? But we're not.
Because he
we're
gets it
gonna-
right there. That's
Yeah.
the moment he has it.
Yeah,
After,
that's when
after
Bond
the
notices
assault.
he's flipping it.
Yep.
So, I like how he's like, she's only in navigation. She's of no threat. And then
Yeah.
she's like, oh, it's moving.
Yeah. Ha ha.
I mean, it's only got like a 30-mile range. She could just move it, over to the ocean and like, oops, you're done. You've got one shot at this, literally.
This is a clue. I love this scene.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
he's counting the clicks.
He's just getting ready to bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's Russian Harry Potter or Russian John Oliver or both.
Man. I will shoot the vest right off of him.
Yeah.
What will you do without your precious pockets?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bum, 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 bum,
It does have the same
bum,
concrete,
bum, bum.
like concrete building structure as Jurassic Park.
Yeah. 90s island command center design.
See, because she's eyeing him a whole lot right here too. Like maybe she's eyeing him to see if he breaks the codes or not.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Or
Well,
It's another
there's a lot of
GBB
dramatic close-ups. Just
Yeah.
a lot of cuts.
Another GBBV
Yeah.
mystery.
Yeah. Just loses his shit.
yeah.
So during this movie, during my last rewatch, I was trying to keep count of like, is the bomb on or off, and I lost count.
Yeah, he clicks it really fast a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, like at first I'm like, okay, on, off, on. Then it's like, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. See, she's even realistic, unlike you, Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, you jerk.
No, yeah. Ah!
That like, what was he doing to that guy?
I
Like,
know.
was there an actual dead guy on set? They're like, hold on, this guy actually died, so you got to wave him around a little bit.
We got one chance. Okay, Michael, you've been very bad at the flailing. We can have George here flail you a little bit more, just to be convincing.
Do you think that Pierce Brosnan had to convince her to do Get Help?
I'm not doing Get Help. All right, here's a pistol. I'm going to hand you a rifle. Now beware of the velociraptors. Let's go through the jungle.
Yes.
We need to turn on the circuit breakers.
That guy is fire extinguishing very poorly, by the way.
Yes, he's not.
He's not aiming in
He's
the face.
pull. He's not aiming. He's not sweeping. He's just spraying.
Yes.
He's just PSing, not PASSing.
That seems a little strict.
Okay
Well,
then.
I guess he should be dead now.
Yeah.
I will go back. I will do my painfully researched topic, my 27-minute topic discussion for later.
Yeah. That is a rickety
Yeah, this
gondola.
is the bravest thing anyone has done in this movie.
Yeah,
Gondola up there.
gondola it up to an antenna.
Hi, Dubs. That looked really cheesy.
Yeah,
And the music's got
This is a
super
great
high
shot
times.
right
yeah.
there,
yeah,
though.
that's cool.
So
Or
part of
what-
me's like, did they actually make this giant antenna?
I'd assume that they probably used one that existed somewhere.
Yeah, because there's a good amount of rust on all of this that I'm like, that can't be like
Yeah.
fake rust.
Well, I mean, radio antennas are gigantic.
Yeah.
So
Just
Yeah. Run. So there's a once again a level that has a similar structure in Battlefield 4 with a giant like antenna satellite structure, and it's weird because video games can easily like make me feel the vertigo, be like, oh god, and, like my stomach tightens up and stuff.
So is it possible that Battlefield 4 just has a bunch of levels based off of stages from scenes from Goldeneye?
Totally possible.
could be. I enjoy that they're repositioning an antenna that can't move. Like the dish can't move, but
Yeah, there's
apparently
some
they're-
other thing that
They're
has
just
to.
rotating the thing in the center, and that changes it, which makes zero sense from that standpoint.
Yeah, that's not how antennas work, but okay.
I mean,
Yeah, no
unless
re-
there's some kind of mechanism
that sends the signal off of the.
Yeah.
If they're directing the beam,
Yeah.
that's what it could be used for.
Oop. Yeah, a lot of good reaction shots here from Boris.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Kool-Aid.
Nobody jams Lone Star.
Antenna's jammed.
So Bond is just serious Lone Star in this movie?
Yes.
Yep. Rich Lone Star.
Yep. He just needs a Winnebago. Ow. He gets kicked a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of kicking in this movie.
Yeah.
This fight is actually pretty good. Compared
there's
to
some-
a lot of the physical altercations in this movie.
Yeah, there's some good choreography in
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. The camera work's interesting. Like
Yeah.
it's,
Like a lot of this, I mean, like you feel a lot of this.
Yeah, this is just like, you can tell these two guys just hate each other at this point.
Right.
yeah.
But are also super familiar with the way that they
Right.
both
Yeah.
fight.
There's a good amount of blocking and
Yep.
counter punches and such like that. That was quick. Kicks the gun out
Yeah.
of his hand.
Yeah.
Like this is great. Like this is a sweet fight scene.
Yeah.
Yep.
And again, Bond gets the best of him,
Mhm.
or Bond has the best gotten of him.
Mhm.
I was like, well, Sean Bone gets the best of Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm better.
Go gadget ladder.
And your shoulders are
Ryan,
done.
Yeah.
Here is the worst special effects of the movie.
Hmm.
Just throw the gun at him.
Just
Right.
the most impressive of kills.
Just hit
mean-
him in the face with something.
You're in a room full of garbage. Just push it all down the hole.
There's a literal chain in there to just throw at him.
Just continue to just pummel him with stuff.
Yeah.
Shit, do you have to take a leak? Start there.
Yeah. I mean, worst comes to worst, you just grab the top of the ladder and jiggle it a whole bunch.
Or no, hang your ass off the side and poop
Ooh.
on him.
Yeah.
Turn it. Now it's a
He did a
scatolite.
full.
He
He did a
did-
full somersault on the ladder.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That was a cool scene.
Yeah.
That's a good. I mean, he did listen to our advice and drop something on
Right,
it, but it
yeah.
was himself.
Also, this movie is very obsessed with helicopters. There's at least 4.
Helicopters are cool.
Also, I'm
Yeah,
standing by
okay.
my scatolite poop joke from a moment ago.
The scatolite of love.
Hmm.
He's in loafers, by the way.
He is.
uh,
And the bottom of that antenna is a Tesla coil.
That is awful looking.
Speak
by the way.
to me! I love that.
yes,
We're totally over a real satellite. Totally.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible how quickly the transition from like Hitchcock. I always consider that like Hitchcock effects
Mm-hmm.
went away in the late '90s
Yeah.
of the falling effect.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. So
that's
I
bad.
propose the fact that he is still alive at the bottom of this later on to be an absurd notion.
Oh,
Right.
yes, most definitely. Most definitely.
Because he lands
would
on
be
his
a
neck.
He would be a stain.
Yeah. But
Like-
it's weird that they show the impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and his leg just like go multiple ways.
Yeah.
Good reaction shot from Boris.
Like,
But
no, Sorry.
Buddy,
You'd be
you're
flat.
jelly.
Broken
You're jelly.
organs leaking vital fluid. Slight loss of appetite.
Shit. Bond about to get me some on this satellite.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. Oh,
That's when she's just like, whoop. Ah! Natasha always wins.
Yes.
She can force yourself on me, Bond. Apparently, also made of gasoline.
Yes,
Yes.
everything. Does it just rain gasoline everywhere in the world in this universe?
It could.
Everything is soaked in gasoline
crushed
perpetually.
by antenna.
Ah!
Like, they just you
Oh,
don't
man.
need that scene.
You know what
No.
he is now? He's refried bean.
Oh, okay, that's a good one, Ryan. Points for you for that. Very John Oliver like.
Right.
Yes. The broken glasses trope.
Yep.
Mm.
And now he's gonna get T2'd.
Yeah.
This terrified me as a child.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so here's some facts on you. I've worked in a lab with access to liquid nitrogen and have gotten it on myself. That would not happen.
You would need to be exposed to a much larger volume for a lot longer of a time, is what I would
Yes,
assume.
because it immediately would like start boiling
Yeah.
off of you. You
Right.
would need to have exposure to it long enough for it to
Right.
freeze your entire body. It's
Right.
Yeah.
And here's
Like if that entire lake was full of liquid
Yeah.
nitrogen, then okay.
I was also 10. So.
Okay, but no, that is more of like my modern, or
Yeah.
my today knowledge of it. But yeah,
This scene,
this pull, yeah.
this is
Yep.
such a good pull.
wait for it.
Ugh.
She's like, yes, I'm going to have it someplace other than the snow of Siberia.
Yeah. Wade.
Also, isn't Yojimbo like a Japanese thing?
It is. She's just so disappointed.
Like,
And he's in a hat.
Yep.
Wade always has hats on.
Or different hat.
Wade Hatman. Tobacco plants. Just like
It's
That's
So
so
good!
cool.
Yeah.
That's a great shot.
And all the
Just the
helicopters land.
Yeah.
helicopters out of nowhere.
You're like,
They were on
shit.
stealth mode.
Yeah.
Is he talking about their underwear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. The literal debriefing.
Hmm.
I'm not going into helicopter with you. Well,
Hee-haw.
that wraps up Goldeneye,
Yep.
the first of 4 Pierce Brosnan movies, and
The only halfway decent one.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're bad after this, man.
They get really bad really fast.
Mhm.
to summarize the plots of the other one, Tomorrow Never Dies involves a media mogul who is going to start a war in China and have exclusive broadcasting rights, not realizing that the internet is a thing
Yeah.
in like 1999. So he's like, I'm going to sell newspapers and magazines and cable television, and it's like no internet. The
yeah.
movie does not work with the existence of the internet. Die Another Day, or excuse me, no, The World Is Not Enough, where Istanbul is going to be nuked to increase the value of an oil pipeline,
Right.
Yeah.
and then Die Another Day, which is where a satellite is going to destroy the 38th parallel between North and South Korea.
Yeah, is that the one that has like lasers on an ice lake? Like sky lasers?
Yeah,
on
there's
an ice lake?
the satellite reflects beams from
Yeah.
the sun and can be used to make a laser thing.
Mm.
It's not the first movie with that kind of plot either.
Mm.
No.
Diamonds Are Forever has a satellite with diamonds used to make a space laser.
Yeah.
Space laser.
Okay.
All right. I'll just real quick on The World Is Not Enough. So Denise Richards is credited as one
Christmas
of the main.
Jones.
Christmas Jones. Okay.
Physicist.
She doesn't show up in the movie until 57 minutes in, thankfully. And also, apparently, she exists to do two things. One, obviously, to just be eye candy. And two, to just blurt out all of the things that you assume James Bond is thinking. Like, that's all. Like, seriously, that's all she fucking does. And it's just trash. The whole movie sucks. And I'm very angry at Denise Richards, apparently.
Yeah, apparently so.
Good God.
I think you're mad that you had to sit through that movie and then be like, guys, we can't do this movie.
Yeah, we can't do that one. Any dang way.
Yeah. All right. Well, view again, brew again, final thoughts. James, start with you. Start with the beer.
Yeah, I'd brew again. I enjoyed this. I'm not a huge winter / holiday / Christmas ale person. And I know this doesn't fall into the traditional like Christmas ale zone, but I would put it in there with them.
I would say it is. The Dragonmead only makes this in December and January.
Yeah, but it doesn't have like the American Christmas
It doesn't
ale.
go overboard with it.
Yeah, so this is my second favorite Christmas ale or winter ale.
Okay.
My first favorite being Three Scrooges.
Three Scrooges
I had
was
Three
very
Scrooges
good.
yesterday. It's
Yeah.
really good.
It's really good.
It's really good.
And it's a ale. The gingerbread taste is not one that I find in a lot of other ales. I think it's a great taste to it. Anyway, view again, probably not. I mean, maybe on or off. Like, I'm not gonna ever be like, you know what I really want to watch right now? Goldeneye. I don't think I'd even watch it if it was on TV, but like as kind of a laugh about it, or every once in a while, kind of be like, I'll put it on. It'll be something on that I can do while I'm doing something else. Sure.
Yeah. Good background.
Yeah, but
background movie. You know, like if you're cleaning the house or doing laundry or whatever.
Yeah, but I would not. It's not a TNT movie for me.
No.
So
no. I'll go next. Brilliant. Yeah. Unlike a lot of other winter beers, this one's low in the ABV, which makes it more drinkable. You can throw a lot back. A lot of the winter beers, I can still throw a couple back in an evening and still really enjoy them. It's not like a one and done kind of ordeal. This one doesn't have some of the cloying spices to it that you can kind of get overboard with a couple.
Yeah.
Like Four Elves, which Ryan, you were not a fan of.
No, that was bad.
Super, super clovey, that one. But yeah, I would do this again. I haven't been to Dragonmead in a long time. They actually bottled this beer now, so it's just as good in a bottle as it is on draft. So that's good. Good quality, consistency. View again. Yeah, I legitimately enjoy this movie. It's got a good blend of humor, action, and interesting characters, like all over the place. Whether it's Dame Judi Dench just being awesome, Tanner being a sad and pitiable agent for the one scene that he's in, the various villains of Famke Johnson as
Xenia
Onatop and Boris Grushenko and Oramov and Sean Bond as Alex Trevelyan. There's just memorable characters. Like, everyone's memorable in this movie for some way.
Yeah.
Whether it's it's enjoyable. I mean, obviously, I would, if I was flipping through TV and saw this and it was either the beginning or the tank scene, I would watch it. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch it. Maybe if someone like hadn't seen it, I'd be like, hey, let's watch it.
yeah, I'd do that.
Like, I think it's just because it's a hallmark of our generation,
Right.
like our generation's first Bond. So, but watching this one also makes me want to go back and watch a lot of the ones I haven't seen. Like, I've seen a good number of the Sean Connery ones. I haven't seen a lot of Roger Moore. I haven't seen the Timothy Dalton or the George Lazenby ones. So, just, kind of fill the gaps. But the problem with a lot of James Bond movies is they're so slow. It's just set piece to set piece to set piece, which, doesn't make them super enjoyable, but also allows them to be put on in the background while you're doing other things, like cooking or cleaning or stuff. So, yeah. about all I got.
Well, I'm gonna go view again first. I mean, I would, yeah. I really don't have too many problems with this movie that would steer me away from it. But there's also not enough here where I'd be like, yeah, you know what, I want to watch this movie again. And similarly to you, Max, if someone hadn't seen it, I might sit down and be like, hey, this is, the Bond that I grew up with. But nothing I'm terribly excited about as far as going back to this one. I was for a while, though, before Casino Royale came out, because, Pierce Brosnan is the Bond that I grew up with. I was very much of the mind that no one's going to be better than Pierce Brosnan. No one. Can't be done. He's the best Bond. But I actually really like Daniel Craig as the successor. And I really need to fill in for myself the catalog of everything before Pierce Brosnan. I don't actually think I've seen any of them to their completion.
Oh, okay. I've got a couple of them on DVD. So like I had Dr. No on DVD, so I can lend you that. Yeah, they're all on Amazon. Like all of them are on Amazon.
Yeah, so I could fill in some of those gaps. Brew Again, I like this beer a lot, actually. For what I think is one of the more, like by a long shot, one of the more subtle beers that we've done for the podcast. I very much like this beer.
Yeah, I will agree with you. Like just thinking of like the last handful of beers we've had, we've had a lot of like big, complex flavored beers. Maybe not the CEO Stout from our last episode on Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, simple but solid.
That was a simple but solid.
Yeah.
I would say that calling this simple is not good. I like your word of subtle, Ryan. I think that's a really good way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, simple's not good. I mean, but it's like in comparison with the other winter beers we've had, this one is a lot more downplayed in the spices aspect of it. They're not
absolutely
as prominent. So that's maybe why I say simple. But subtle is probably a lot better descriptor.
Yeah, but thanks very much for bringing this. This is really, really good.
I'm very pleasantly. It sounded good, and I'm very pleasantly surprised by it because I'm typically not a big Christmas beer person. So
very good.
Going back to this, one last thing I forgot to say about this beer is this was the first like darker beer I had where it was not as heavy as I thought it would be.
Okay, yeah,
I expected like this beer Dragonmead makes a lot of really good dark beers that are all very, very heavy. A lot of heavy porters, a lot of heavy stouts.
Yeah.
This was the first one that I had by them where I'm like, oh, this is going to be something thick and rich and whatnot. Yeah. And it's not. It's medium bodied, more like an amber or a brown.
Sure.
And I was just like, what's going on with this? Like
in that sense, it reminds me of the Fluffer from
Kunin's, yeah,
which is a darker beer that looks like it's not super dark, but it's a darker beer that looks like it should be way heavier than it actually is.
Yeah. So okay, yeah. All right. Well, I think that's about it for this episode of Good Brews, Bad Views. Thanks for joining us. And as always, please check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Visit our websites at gbbvpodcast.wordpress.com or gbbvpodcast.podbean.com. Please like and review us on iTunes. That'll help more people find our stuff.
Yay.
And as always, please watch and drink responsibly.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.